reason. Did you know restreams? Shut up. No one cares. There we go. Ah. Oh shit, make sure Twitch's category is shifted as well. I forgot that part. God, I look like filth. Doesn't matter though, I'd imagine everybody else on this fucking site is also fucking sweaty. I haven't had a shower today type.
It's very judgmental of you.
It's not, it's actually relatively accepting, to be honest. And send out the notification. Not that anyone listens to that shit anyway. There we go. You ready, Ken?
Yeah, one sec.
And what's my scav actually have?
Oh my god, my scab is a good meme. He's an absolute terrorist.
I got a silence under on mine.
Oh, you've the same gun as me.
Yeah, mine's better though. It has a silencer. So, I'd say interchange with scavs if we want to learn it, or an offline practice, but I think if we go with scav, there'll be no loot left.
Yeah, seems possible.
So if you want me to do a customs run, then we'll do a co-op on an interchange and figure that map out a bit.
Well, I can probably do this scav run, but then I would need to bounce for a bit.
Cool. Right, I'm on customs. Bark,
Actually,
bark, bark.
Yeah, just let me check what the fuck's going on here.
Alright,
hey,
I'll put my plate down.
It's not my dog.
I know, right? Oh, it's fucking a broken clock's right twice today, eh? I know that made no sense.
It's more like once a year.
Right, back in a sec. And I'm back.
Hello.
And Keane's still gone. Cool. Guess I'll see him in several hours. I'll just do a quick practice factory run.
You know when you do the practice run, he's gonna show up, right?
Yeah, that's classic.
There you go.
Classic fucking Keane.
What do you mean?
I was literally just about to do a practice run.
Why?
Because I didn't know how long you'd be. Just said I'm gonna check that.
I was just checking what my dogs were barking.
Sure. Like you've never disappeared for 2 hours.
Oh yeah, I did that earlier, and I should have just jumped out of call. This wasn't ours. What's wrong with you, missus? Why are you freaking out?
Because you're a horrible bastard.
Yeah, true.
No less harsh, though.
What? Alan, do you think dogs can actually talk?
No.
I'm surprised no one
What?
said, why is this dog talking? I was doing an impression of his dog.
Oh, I thought you were just judging him. Never mind.
Stop! Oi! Stop it.
It's currently just knocking shit off a counter for the crack. Stop it. No. Slaps a fucking cup off. Can't believe I got ambushed like that. And all I wanted to do was tell you there's an ADAR there.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, to be honest, with the gun that I had, I probably should have just tried to run out. But
I had a little AK.
I
I was going to use
I
that as
didn't
my
want to let
primary
him get
weapon.
away with it, and it sounded like he had a cool gun, so I hoped I could kill him. But he took like I should have been more patient, but he took ages running over to the bodies. I don't know what he was doing.
He was just being a silly willy.
Probably waiting
Yeah,
for
but
his mate, to be honest.
Yeah,
That
but he
too.
didn't wait for his mate.
He waited
His mate
ages,
came
then
like
just
5
came.
minutes after.
That's what I mean. He probably realized, oh shit, there's someone here. I better wait for my mate.
No, I guess he was waiting for his
I
mate.
don't
Then
think
he got
he-
impatient. Then Keen
I don't
shot him.
think he
Then
did
his
know. Yeah, I don't think he did know I was there because he ran like in the middle of the road, to Tony's body to loot it.
No, what I mean is he probably, like, after that happened, and then you started firing on him, he probably thought there might be someone around. I'll go out, check the body, see what happens. If I get shot at, I'll retreat and then wait for me buddy.
all we know is we
And,
both
like,
went down.
I know I dinged him pretty bad because he fucking legged it away from me.
When you get stuff out of Scav, it counts as found in raid, doesn't it?
Ooh. Yes, I think so.
If only there was another human in chat who would inform me of this. Okay, I am at. She let me put you here, Keen,
I'm about to load in.
so I can keep track of where you're at. There we go. I hear you. You're actually right next to me. I'm right behind you.
Okay, well, it gave me a fuckload of mags and nothing else.
Scav shoots Keen in the head.
I wouldn't be
Going into
surprised,
storage.
honest.
Hey, like you've never shot me in the back before.
One time! You've killed me like 4 times!
Yeah, but I was perfectly stationary staring at you.
No, I don't think that's true. Oh my... You can have the SKS.
I was actually aiming for the SKS anyway. That's that's a magical boot, isn't it?
I don't know what it is with that thing, it's fucking ridiculous. Oh, this is a nice AK too.
I don't know. I think that's a
762.
helmet that I can put on. It is.
Full auto. Admin gate, that's the opposite side. Old gas station gate, I don't know exactly.
All right,
where
you're
it is.
checking that scav. I'm gonna check the other 2 spots I
Actually,
normally go to.
maybe- Oh, what the fuck are those?
Oh, duct tape, nice, and a bandage.
I mean, considering the fact I have literally no meds, I'll take whatever. Yeah.
Still can't believe you found an SKS and an AK in that one cart.
I can't believe no one else has fucking looted it. Did nobody spawn on this side or something like that?
Looking like that's the case. But then again, an awful lot of people don't bother with the boots of the cars.
Yeah, that's true. Ooh. Circuit board, nice. Now what is this ammo? 7.62.25. Oh, it does very high damage but very low
But very low pen.
armor pen, yeah.
So shooting the legs then. Yo, you scared the crap out of me. Yeah, you already checked that med bag.
Didn't have much in it now.
Actually, what's our extractions? Old road gates, admin gate, and scav checkpoint.
There is some shit going down here.
Uh-huh.
No. Oh my god, this guy's a Triton.
Nice. Hey, how do I fucking... Oh, I can't yet.
This rig I'm dropping on the floor is quite good. Tarzan. All the shit's looted already.
He has a backpack?
No. Holy fuck, what is that? Nice, right where we need to go. Oh, I'm bugged.
No, you're fine.
Holy shit, there's fucking grenades and shit going on over there.
How much time have we got? 10 minutes.
Not a lot. And I'd like to go hit the tools building to see if there's shit for the hideout, so I guess I'm running towards these.
Sure, let's see how long we make it. Oh, great. Out of stamina right here. I love this shit.
Yeah, but remember, we're scavs. The scavs aren't going to shoot us.
Yeah, I'm just nervous of players who will execute me on the spot, Keane.
No, they would never do that.
Why does that they would never do that sounds like, yes, that's exactly what they would do.
Is that you running ahead of me?
No.
No, it's player scav. Oh my god, people are just leaving fucking guns on the floor all over the place. Holy shit, look at this. There's a fucking AK on this guy's body with a 40 round mag.
I'd gladly take that.
Is it possible they're leaving it there as bait?
Oh fuck. No.
I do need a backpack.
Even matches. Oh my god, there's so many dead people here. Holy fuck. We literally just missed an absolute massacre.
Mm-hmm. I wonder, was it a PMC?
I'll take that silencer. There's there's fucking headsets and everything.
Oh, crackers. I need
Oh my god, an ADAR. Gimme, gimme, gimme.
free splint. I'll take that any day. What's the MP18 again? Oh, I don't think it's that good.
Oh my god, a 5.7. Holy shit, these odds are janked.
It's a Vapor, so I don't like it that much. Jesus, the noise of that thing.
Yeah, you scared the fucking shit out of me, not gonna lie.
I scared the shit out of myself, not gonna lie. You dumping stuff on this dude?
No, no, I'm not trying to.
Right. There is absolutely no way I can work this out, I don't think. So...
I'd like that bag if you're...
Already looted.
Don't, no, stop looting the rig. Stop taking my shit!
Oh, that's your shit. I put it back, I put it back, I put it back, I put it back. I'm just gonna identify the items. Aw, keck.
Oh, you bugged one of the items. Fuck's sake, Tony.
Your fault, not mine.
Alright, we need to get the fuck out of here.
Let's go, let's go, let's go! Don't think the med building was actually looted.
I mean, the doors are open, I would assume it was. We don't have time to loot. We're gonna fuck out of here. There's a dead guy in here, they definitely was looted.
Alright, because the box over here wasn't open.
Oh my god, you you fucking bugged the goddamn item. I can't fucking put stuff in the slot.
Well, at least we found a bug that we can probably get rewarded for finding. Would you being overly negative all the time?
Do you still have the customs map open?
Yeah.
Can you get it? I'm in the middle of something.
I hope I don't fucking die. Right. My extracts are... Let's see what we have in common. All road gates, administrator, scab checkpoint.
Yeah, I have admin gate.
So, admin gate is...
I know where it is. It's right down the end, past all the...
Yeah,
Oh,
so...
yeah, actually, I might be able to get out here, and I might have to. 'Cause, I think food's here. Because isn't old gas station gate is right here, isn't it? Where the stash is.
I'm trying to fucking... Fucking hell, noises scare me. Old gas station gate is near the... Yeah, I think it's here.
Alright, well, I'm getting out because I gotta go down and get my food.
So you're there already?
Yeah, I'm extracting. Good luck. I'll chat to you later, boys.
Watch, wait, you see me die again. Oh, I thought I could make that jump.
Gotcha,
Catch you later.
Gotcha.
No, I'm not too far off.
I think I want to be bad on soon myself. I am fucking knackered.
I can tell.
I was hoping to get some stuff done for maps for D&D today, but I couldn't even be arsed opening the software, let alone actually using it.
Hmm. Oh yeah, how was D&D on Sunday? Good, bad? Column A, column B?
Let's just say it was the fourth session that was ended early.
Alright. Jesus.
Yeah, I really just wasn't in the mood for it on Sunday, so I just kind of took a back seat, like literally. Like I just wasn't interacting, I wasn't doing anything. Because I wasn't doing anything, no one else seemed to be doing anything, so...
One of those days where you're the needed player, but you're just not in the mood.
Yep. Like, I don't know what it was about Sunday, I just... Oh, I think it was because... Part of it was probably because I'd stayed up on... Like, I'd been up on Friday, and then I stayed up Friday night. Then I stayed up Saturday morning for D&D. So I'd been over 24 hours at that point. And I couldn't get sleep during that day either. So I didn't go to sleep until... like 6 in the afternoon or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time I got up, it was like 6 in the morning. So I slept like a solid 12 hours. The problem is then D&D wasn't until 7, so it was 14 hours away. So I was tired again by the time, and I just wasn't in the fucking mood for it.
You need to get into a better sleep schedule, my man.
Yeah, it's just like having D&D in the mornings on Saturday and then in the like late afternoon on Sunday. It's just fucking weird to get used to. Especially since most of my prep ends up getting done on the Friday.
That's a nice dude. He's not killing me. Great. Yeah, I get you. I get it's hard, but I'd say just still try your best to get into a decent sleeping routine, you know?
If it was that easy, I'd be fine ages ago. But no, I do get where you're coming from, but yeah, like even when I was walking, I couldn't get a good routine going, so... I don't know.
Well, just be even handier for yourself, you know, as opposed to being, like, even when you're DMing, if you're tired, you're not going to be as good.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, let's get this shit that I have.
Ooh.
Anyway, you go get yourself some shut eye, okay?
I'll stick around for a little while longer.
I'll put you in the cell corner. Literally just picked you up the cell. And we'll hold on to you, sell you, keep you, keep you, keep you. Definitely keep the knife, the knife. And get you next. Thank you, Scav.
See, I figure if I can push myself to a point where like I'm just totally wiped, like completely wiped, I'll get like plenty of sleep, and that way when I wake up tomorrow and start the prep, I'll be able to run through the prep and then be ready for that next morning. That's the hope. How rare it ever works that way.
That is the hope. That is the prayer.
Yeah, prayer being the key word.
Yeah, don't worry too much about it anyway. I'd say try your best to get whatever, what you got a thing, but I know it can be kind of fucking hard, especially when you ain't got too much going on, you know?
Yeah. That doesn't help with them fucking two. Do you know what? I'm not a big fan of being in the house on my own, but Jesus Christ, it was peaceful.
Need you. Over here. Definitely need you. So we're putting you in the need corners. Hold on to the splint. Well, I'll have this splint, so I'll just leave this splint here. Go here. And we will rock this. And your cell. You're also cell. Is
that a fuel supply or a bomb?
Yes.
Good answer.
It's a fuel supply.
Can you rig it up?
Use it to upgrade your base, or you can sell it. I'm gonna hold on to it to upgrade my base. Got some batteries. Got some of you. Extra ammo. You're a cell. I think we need to hold on to the batteries, to be honest. You got me helmet. Got me googles. Anything. Where's my face mask covering? There it is. Cool. I think my guy's all ready to go. This did take a bit of damage, but it's better than none, you know? Trading. Therapist. What are you going to give me for any of the stuff I found? Nothing. You're not interested in it. Nice. So you have a task for me I didn't bother grabbing. Accept. And modify an M133 to comply with the given specifications. Right. Some of these quests I absolutely hate doing, man.
Yeah, they seem pretty damn random.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, you're at the mercy of RNGs, you know?
Oh yeah, everyone's favorite. The deity that all gamers worship.
Who buys this again? Oh, it wouldn't be Ragman. There we go. 800 quid for a little hat. Art. Sup, Art. Say hello to Art now, Alan. Now.
Give me a second.
Fucking rude, cunt.
So.
The most low energy sup I've ever heard, and I love it. Hold on to the SKS as a backup gun. We'll put them up here. And you are actually needed for trades. But yeah, dude, don't feel obligated to stay up. If you're really tired, just go to sleep, you know?
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. You know me. I do stuff that's not healthy for me all the time.
Oh, yeah. Especially with the kid.
Wait, what?
I just wanted to wind you up a little bit, to be honest.
Don't do that. I'm too tired for that shit.
I'm too tired. I was taking you serious. Like, what did I do with children? So TwitchCon costs 100 EU plus. I just got an ad for it. Nice! Is everybody ready to go to TwitchCon to meet your favorite fucking streamer, Thrifty? Yeah, no one's showing up. What am I missing? I think I have everything.
There's a question, actually, Tony. If you ever made it big on Twitch, would you actually do TwitchCon?
Yeah, as an excuse to leave the country.
Yeah, I can get behind that, actually, yeah.
Look, these days I look for any excuse to go visit a different country.
Yeah.
Because it's better than showing up while having nothing to do and you're just standing there with your thumb up your arse, just like, should I go grab a drink? Or something like that. What about yourself, Art? Go on.
I was gonna say, like, to be fair, like when I went to Lanzarote, the amount of time I spent playing fucking pool, and you know yourself, I am not good at pool.
Mm-hmm. You see, that's why, that's an expensive fucking repair, Jesus. And that's why I like to... That's why I, like, fucking when I went over to Madrid, it was great crack, being there for the month, but my god, I had nothing to do, so I had to just kind of wing it and find stuff. I got a couch surfing app, so I got to meet up with a lot of random people.
As you do.
I would go to meet some people, but I'm not going to pay €80 for the train and 60 to 100 bucks to enter, nah. Yeah, I agree with you. I kind of feel TwitchCon shouldn't be one of those... It should be one of those, oh, it's too full, no one's allowed in. Oh, spot in, first come, first serve. You get me?
Price though. Fuck hell.
Mm-hmm. Then again, I suppose I
know,
have to upkeep itself up, but 100 quid per person? Well,
yeah,
60 to
there's
100?
concert tickets you can get for cheaper than that. But
Mm-hmm. Right, here we go. We're going into customs, lad. We're going into customs. Well, it depends on where they make their money, Art. So, like, if they can get money from sponsors, then realistically they shouldn't be charging. They're just being greedy at that point. But if they're not getting any money from
yeah,
sponsors, then the people showing up are the reason it's being fueled. You get me?
nah, they're gonna get sponsor money from something like TwitchCon, of course they are.
And even at that, I'm not sure. But I'd imagine Twitch, what you call it, the people that run TwitchCon charge streamers to have little boots as well, or little talks. So, I don't necessarily know. Well, I suppose some of them would get paid, but I imagine a chunk of them for the whole meet and greet type thing, you know, where they have a little table and they sign t-shirts and take little selfies and shit like that.
Yeah.
They'd probably have to pay for that space, so they're actually making money off that as well.
Yeah, there'd be mutual things between the two, between the company and the influencer, as they call them.
The influencer. Just call them a modern day celebrity, come on.
It's pretty much the new word for it, really.
It's just the classic celebrities wanting their own, no, we're different from them. And it's like, no, you do stuff that makes people fucking fan over you. Like, come on. Back in a sec.
Does art stream as well?
Here we go. Now my screen's clear. So I can just die it decently.
Art, yeah.
The reason why I think it should be free or cheaper is because there's no worthy service being provided other than organising an actual meetup of streamers. No, I don't stream.
Okay.
Art, I was going to say to you was, yeah, but at the same time, still security and stuff like that, and trained personnel that they still have to, like, pay. So...
Yeah, like, there's a couple of things that come into play. Like, there's the actual scheduling of meeting up, you know, people who are in the public eye, much like what you would suspect with a celebrity. There's, as Tony mentioned, security. There's also the venue. There's possibly, like, food. There's events, that kind of thing. Like, it's still setting up a full-on, like, event, you know? It's not
like, look at that thing
not
from years ago.
Quality, but
Hanacon, where they just accepted all the money but didn't really actually pay for anything, so people ended up fucking nearly dying as a result.
I think it's atrocious. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
but I'd imagine they're getting money from multiple different sources. Do you think those little fucking ad banners they put up, they're just putting up out of goodwill? Nah, they're being paid for that shit, so they're just being greedy with the 60 to 100. They're probably just booting up the price because streaming became an awful lot... Well, streamers became an awful lot more popular when COVID happened because no one was able to do an. I think that was with a year where Twitch streamers kind of like almost surpassed YouTubers in terms of influencer. Of course, I need personnel, but fucking hell, Disneyland costs €50 a day. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It should be like way cheaper or free because they're probably getting money from sponsorships and stuff like that, so they can show off their products. That's how they can advertise their products.
I will say it's not exactly an accurate equivalent because it's fucking Disney. Like they have their
but at the same time,
every pocket, but
yeah, but at the same
I do
time,
get what you're getting at. Yeah.
It's just a case of what can you do at Disney versus what you can do at TwitchCon. If you go to Disney, you can do an awful lot more. There's amusement parks, there's restaurants and shit like that. There's your hotel rooms that are on premise.
Isn't the 50 quid an entry fee, and then you still have to pay for like rides and stuff, right?
No, you don't have to pay for rides.
Really?
Yeah, I believe it's a case once you pay in, you can just queue up for rides. I think you can pay for better passes that give you priority seating on rides.
Okay. Right. You never know with Disney, to be honest.
It's gonna be short soon, man. Disney gonna run the world.
I mean, they're already halfway fucking there. But they've done the Star Wars. Holy jeez.
I'm probably gonna die. I think I heard footsteps.
Right, yeah, so yeah, Archer's...
Oh my god, I jumped myself. I fucking killed myself because I jumped.
Nice. I can't wait to see that, actually. You're like 10 seconds out. Oh my god. Okay, that was kind of funny. Not gonna lie.
That wasn't funny, that was him. Yes, you pay for all the what you call pay, and all the rides are free, right? Yeah, so it's as a thing there. Of course, you need personnel, but fucking Disney, yeah, that's what you're already seeing. So yeah, fucking hell, I can't believe my dude got wrecked so much. Thankfully, I have backup equipment. This gun's kind of...
With TwitchCon, do they have they have a European version and then a US version, or is it just the US version?
They have the one in France, Euro Disney, and then they have Disneyland, which is in the States.
No, not Disney. I'm talking about the TwitchCon.
Oh, I don't know if they have a European one, to be honest. F indeed, Arthur. I literally lost that one just because I was stupid. And then I scared myself. What can I say? The dude was really ugly. Yeah, let me just do a fucking little warm-up with this SKS.
We regret to inform you your son is dead because the enemy was ugly.
Mm-hmm. He ain't coming home.
Yeah, apparently that Top Gun sequel has been doing really fucking well.
I've been meaning to watch it. I was actually planning on watching
really
the first Top Gun and then the second one because I haven't seen Top Gun in years.
Yeah, no.
And it has one of the best soundtracks.
Oh yeah, it does.
Highway to the danger zone. It's lulling over there.
Yeah. So I don't know how far behind he is in the chat in terms of...
Yeah, I know, it's a little bit random. I think on average it's a 10-second delay. So I get confused when I'm reading stuff. I was like, wait, but I said so much in that 10 seconds. And so little at the same time.
But yeah, no, I would definitely recommend watching that movie. I think they've done a fantastic job at it. They paid plenty of homage to
the original.
To the original, yeah. Crying, laughing, what's the difference? I mean, you can laugh out loud, and then you can cry while laughing out loud. So
I'll give them one thing though. They sometimes they can sound very similar.
Oh yeah. That's when you know it's a good laugh as well. When someone mistakes it for crying.
Yeah, that's when it's that uncontrollable laugh. You're like, you okay? You want me to give you a hug? And you're just like, no, dude, fuck off. Actually, yeah, give me the hug. Popped in the back of the head. The impossible scabs are hilarious.
Fourth, when you're shocked at all weird and shit. Oh.
You ever get that when your brain's interfering with its own signals? Some of those that aiming I do, my brain's just like, wait for a minute. And I'm like waiting, and then I miss my opportunity. I'm like, why was I waiting? And the brain's like...
Oh yeah. That's the kind of moments that stop me from getting really good at MGO.
Yeah, alright, one more warm-up and then we're going back in. But we're only going back in with this one because, fuck it, why not? Room clearing with a sniper rifle, that's some marine shit. I know, right? They don't call me the best for no reason.
Not gonna be wrong. No, I think even the Marines would be smart enough to do it with a pistol.
I have a fucking sniper. Leave me alone. Well, not, it's an assault rifle, okay?
I gotta be honest, I just want to say that's so I could make a stab at the Marines, basically.
Fair enough. Someone hates the Marines. Why'd you hate the Marines? Are you unpatriotic? Do I have to deliver you fucking freedom, motherfucker?
Well, hang on. How is it patriotic for me to care about the Marines? I'm not my soldiers, so... I'm not from my country.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. America doesn't care, okay? I heard Ireland has oil. We already gave it to you. That's not like how we. That's not how we like to work.
Yeah, we don't do trade deals around like that. We just give it away.
Don't you just love our politicians? And they're like, we could use this to like inflate our economy, or we could just give it away and then have someone step on our testicles because we love that shit.
You sure this is a topic you want to start? Figured I'd ask, just to be sure.
No, I'm done. I think I said all I needed to say.
That's just
He spawned right next to me! Watch
Just seeing
Twitch.
two blokes like run past you like that is just really creepy.
I know, it's the fucking bots, right? One more warm-up, because these are stupidly quick. And I did, like, no-scope that dude.
Why do they seem to be spawning on top of you like that?
I don't know. That never happened pre-patch, so it must be a little bit of a bug. But they're not really gonna care. It's offline, like. Right, last one. Oh, I could also start on Dutch police. You're gonna laugh your dick off. If you're gonna tell me something that will make me laugh so much my penis flies off, I don't want to hear about it. Now, laugh me arse off, I could do without one of them, so...
See, I was actually gonna say, I was gonna make exactly the same joke.
Go on, spill. What do you like? I can start talking about the Garda over here.
Fucking joke of police force. Oh my god.
How dare you?
I mean, how dare I? You agree? Fuck off.
No, it's not, I don't agree now because you said it, you know? And I heard somewhere
that's how
I
it is
heard
right
somewhere here... I heard somewhere on the grapevine that you're a sexist.
Well, I'd rather be a sexist than a homophobe.
Where do I start? History or present day? Go present day. The present day is the stuff you want to watch out for. History's just for interest.
History is where the lessons are. Present day is where clown world is.
Yeah, but, you know... Oh, that is a door I can open. I just couldn't open it immediately for some reason. Whatever. Clown world is something you have to be aware of. Or
True.
you'll fall
It's
victim
also,
to it. Alright, so
it's also incredibly entertaining sometimes.
You're not wrong there.
It's just being able to laugh at the
Get
shit
ready for the fucking
really.
paragraph, by the way.
Oh boy.
I know one thing about Art. He loves his fucking details.
Hey, I have no problem with that.
Fucking these bots, man.
Say that and then my mind goes, why is it whenever I point out that I talk a lot, my mind goes fucking blank? What's that all about?
No, it's because you're dumb.
Nice, thanks.
You can't think and talk at the same time, like, come on. Well, present day, if you vote in the Netherlands on a party that becomes second biggest after election, the biggest and third party can exile the entire party from the government, basically rendering your vote worthless. Wait, what?
Wow.
That sounds not corrupt in the slightest, haha. Alright, let's go in and see if we can actually get
means
some
then you can just decide, okay, the winning party is the one that we're going to exile. So they're useless now, which means the second in place gets into power basically.
I think what it means, no, it's like if you vote in the what you call it, if you read, he says the second biggest party after election, then the fourth party and the third party can just merge together and just say you're exiled and let's disband that party, meaning that you have nothing to represent you in government. Is that am I interpreting that correct, Art?
That looks more accurate, yeah, because it's the biggest and the third party. So basically, if you lose an election, that's it. You're out. You're done. Essentially. Holy shit.
Oh, I think Little Deck followed me on Twitch.
What, was he not already following you?
I don't think so. New follower, Rain the fucking 14th. If you voted for the party that becomes first, now you will have a representative in the part of the Gulf that we call the second room. This is literally an idea bin. They're the lawmakers, but don't decide on anything. That's the part of the government they call the first room. Right.
And what kind of control does the voters have on the first room?
I think it's whoever, like, if the first room, first room peeps win, that essentially they get to make all the decisions, and judging by the sound of it, and after that, the second room, as he calls it, is just like a place where, you can correct me on this one, it's just essentially a place where they just pretend that your vote counts, if you get me. No, what I meant is if number one party doesn't like one of the other parties, they can just kick them until the next election. Alright, so yeah, Grant. Now I understand.
Even worse, that's full-blown authoritarianism.
Yeah, it's not full-blown authoritarianism, but it's like, I'd say a stone throw away from it.
I mean, if they just decide, oh, I think your shit's too extreme, even if it's not.
Yeah, but they still
You know.
have to win an election. So I'm not going to say it's full-blown authoritarianism, but I'll say it's a stone throw away. You should not be able to, with your party, boot other parties because you happen to be the party in power, you know?
I mean, what happens, for example, if a government gets in who basically does what most governments do, where they bullshit during the election season, they get into power and then they decide, right, the ones who actually could have helped you guys, we're gonna kick them out because we can now because you let us win.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like they can do much, judging by Art's description. Either that or maybe they can do something, but they're just not saying they're not educating their people on what they can actually do. Like, I don't know, a fucking veto on them or some shit like that. But even at that, if they have the majority vote, if the winning party has the majority of vote, I'm pretty sure nothing can actually happen to them. The first room are elected by politicians, so the people have no effect on that veto. That's kind of like the European Union, to be honest.
Say that, yeah, it's exactly like the EU.
Side of the entire Dutch government, they can accept or reject laws by voting. The first room is filled with lobbyists, representatives of the largest companies in the countries. Yeah, well, that's a classic thing. If there's a company, there's a politician in their pocket. And now now the stupid part comes. Oh, so that was the smart part. Okay, come on.
I was gonna say, like, if the stupid part is coming next, holy shit. Like, that's insane. That is actually insane. Like, let me check now. Yeah, I'm actually curious now. Like, is it? Because you were saying so the people you vote in are the idea bin, basically, as you called it, and then they basically pick representatives
For the first
according
round.
to what you call the first room,
Which is where shit actually gets done.
yeah. So I'm wondering, is it the second room or the first room who just gets to decide, oh, you know, that party, fuck them and kick them out? This company now is the Royal Dutch Shell. They both directly and indirectly rule about 51% of the first room. Right. So it's pretty much they're always going to be in power.
Yeah, it's kind of like the issue we have over here with like fucking landlords and shit like that. It sounds like they influence so much shit, and that's why there's such. That's why houses over here are stupidly priced. Like, the government over here say they care about immigration, but realistically, it just feels like they're trying to inflate the prices of their own property.
See that shit you're saying there as well about the royals being involved. That's exactly why the US pulled out from the crown. That's exactly why they did it, because it is kind of bullshit. Country where the CEO of the largest company is literally the king of the powers, traditional monarch. With this loophole is exploited by the actual king of the north. Wow.
Okay, focus.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, right? I'm not like inciting or nothing like that. But from a perspective of just an outside viewer listening to this, if any of this is even remotely true, the only thing I can think of that can solve that is an actual full-on revolt.
Yeah, or someone decent to get into power to somehow break it all up, you know?
That's the thing, with a system like that getting into power, you'd be stonewalled. Oh man, like headache, I'd get an aneurysm from trying to deal with that
Yeah,
shit.
it's like looking at the entirety of the European system. Just like all condensed.
Like, I can tell you now, ever since like roughly like the 2014, 2015 mark, I can tell you now that I've completely started to understand the concept of ignorance being bliss. Because I wish I didn't know how the world works. I wish I didn't know. I'm not surprised, Art, to be honest. I'm not surprised. Because once I started to figure out how laws worked over here and how laws worked in the US and all that stuff, once I figured out how politics actually works, like, I got to a point where I just wish I didn't know. You start to realize, like, a lot of the stuff that people do, like the votes and stuff they make and all that kind of thing, yeah, sure, you might get someone in who does want to do what you know, what's good for you, the people, but they're never going to have the sheer level of influence needed to do that, because there's always someone above them who just prevents it, because it's not beneficial to them at the time. So, and it's an issue that's existed with all of our systems. I think it was it Churchill who said, democracy is the worst governmental system we've ever created, except for the rest of it. With that, basically pointing out like it's still an incredibly flawed system. It's just better than what we had before. The cynical grumpy, yeah, yeah. Cynical grumpy maniac is it's a pretty accurate term.
Sorry, I'm in a fucking firefight right now. Oh my god, my heart. Oh, I killed him. I killed 2 people.
Nice.
My fucking heart's pounding. I didn't think I was going to make it.
Oh yeah, no, like I've gone beyond cynical at this point. Like I don't have any faith in anything at this point. I really couldn't care. I believe that term is black-pilled. You just...
Or rather, the term me and Key came up with. You've just been yellow-berried.
Yellow-berried?
Yeah.
Yeah, Socrates he's worth listening to for sure. Except I would say that in terms of like systems that we've ever built, like I would say democratic republics are the best we've ever made. They're still terribly flawed, but they beat stuff like communism like hands down. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, they do beat things like communism like hands down. Like, but yeah, they're still dreadfully flawed.
Oh, fucking hell, my heart. Sorry, I'm still fucking recovering.
I will say, I think, oh god, I will say, I do think the destruction of the planet, like myself and yourself, for example, we're gonna long outlive that. Like, oh yeah, I agree, I absolutely agree. Yeah, I do think we're gonna long outlive any kind of destruction of the planet kind of level of stuff. I mean, whether humans survive to a point of the sun starts collapsing, like it's too hard to judge because it's so far down the trail. But I do think the destruction of the planet kind of stuff, that kind of talk, is way overblown.
Yeah.
Way overblown.
Personally, I think it is definitely overblown. Sorry for ignoring you there, Ark, but as you could probably see from the sweat dripping out my forehead, that was pretty intense for me. The way I see it, anyway, is the most dangerous thing for the planet is the destruction of animal environments. Not so much the trees. I think the trees are fine. The more CO2 in the air, as far as I'm concerned, they have more resources to work with. But there's some kind of keystone species that are being threatened that can really badly affect an actual ecosystem, and as a result have a domino effect. If
I
you
think,
get me.
just on going back to another note that he mentioned there, I think Socrates actually promoted the concept of individualism, so individual responsibility, if I recall correctly. Like, I think he pushed that pretty hard, which is something I do heavily agree with.
Alright, time to extract all the shit I found off those 2 dead guys.
It's a nice looking pistol, by the way.
And the revolver.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminds me of the Peacemaker from Battlefield.
That's what those cunts get for not paying any. The Peacemaker was class. Communists should be crucified publicly. Well, honestly, I think everyone should have their own opinion, but it's just when someone else's opinion involves sacrificing the lives of millions, I don't think that qualifies as an opinion anymore. But like an awful lot, like, don't get me wrong, I think me and Alan have already discussed this an awful lot. Communism looks great on paper, but it's just not feasible.
It's feasible in very, very small controlled.
Yeah, I think it's good for sustaining, but even at that, communism should only be like a max of 10 years. It's like, oh, our country is a bit out of control, so...
It's all about scale, because the problem with communism is that, or even just socialism in general, the problem with the system is that it requires everyone to be on the same page. And let's be honest, there's always bad apples.
You're not wrong, yeah.
No good, there's no evil. There's only knowledge, ignorance, truth, and illusion. I wouldn't completely agree with that. Evil exists. It's kind of something that the modern extreme left is preaching that isn't true. That's when you had, like, remember a couple of years ago we had all the stories coming out about people who were going over to foreign countries and then, you know, on their own thinking it was fine, they're allowed to travel there, and then they would get beheaded. You know, that's an example of that, you know?
Yeah, but I think the point Art was making is if enough people say it's not evil and it's good, then realistically it's not evil. Do you get me?
Yeah,
like for example with the Crusades back in the day, both. Sorry, just I'm hearing gunshots and I just want to be very quiet.
Yeah.
With the Crusades back in the day, like both sides just perceived the other people as evil and ignored their own evil wrongdoings. So realistically, from modern day standards, we can say that that was definitely an evil act to do, where they manipulated people using their god to kill each other essentially for land and whatnot. But
yeah, well, the thing about Socrates.
I just want to finish the quick thing anyway. If you go back to the past, each one of them, each civilization at that point would look at the other one as if they're evil, would look at them as if they're the good guys. Realistically, by our own standards, as I already said, they're both evil somewhat. Continue with your Socrates.
Well, the thing about Socrates' take on it, yeah, it's it's a matter of perspective, but it's more a case of it's really hard to explain. He words it way better because he was better at wording this kind of stuff because he was a philosopher by nature. But it's the idea that evil in and of itself as a concept doesn't exist. There's good and there's bad, but the actual very in-depth concept of evil as an evil act doesn't exist. Even if someone does something bad, it doesn't make them evil, because evil isn't actually a thing, it's a concept. That's the best way I can word it. Is how he thought of it.
I have my own definition for what's evil. Sorry, go on, I'll finish your shit.
I think everyone does. I will say this though. You said there, I truly believe that people who do something evil wouldn't do these things if they truly knew the impact of it. That I would highly disagree with.
I disagree with that also.
Yeah, there's plenty of people who, as they put it, just want to see the world burn. There's plenty of people who.
Well, there's not only that. There's other people who literally just don't care about the repercussion because the feedback they get from doing their own deeds is like, look at psychopaths who just like killing people. Like they do actually exist.
Sociopaths who are incapable of actually conceiving that anything is good or evil.
Yeah, well, some of the sociopaths, yeah. I think sociopaths get a very bad rep because of some psychopaths who were called sociopaths, as well as there was that point where no one explained the difference, so everybody just assumed a sociopath and a psychopath were the same thing.
Well, with a sociopath, it's much more complicated because they completely can't understand it.
Yeah, I know.
Well, can't feel it,
yeah, I don't need to go over the differences now. I'm just saying that, and you know this yourself. I'm pretty sure Art even knows this as well. That there was periods where people would often conflate two words together because no one ever explained the words. So at a certain point, a sociopath and a psychopath was something people just thought were basically the same thing.
When they were. Go on. Are you finished?
Yeah, go on, talk your bit. I'm trying to focus a little bit now on the game, so I'll be tuning in and out of your chat. So I might ask you for a repeat.
Like one thing Art mentions there is good and evil is a matter of perspective. To an antelope, a hyena is pure evil, but to the hyena cubs, their mother is just getting them food. Now, yeah, you could argue that the hyena is trying to survive. Is it an evil act to kill something when it's necessary for it to survive? Technically, no. Which is why you have people like Socrates who would argue technically evil doesn't exist. It's an interesting argument because there's grounds for it. Because again, we decide from our perspective, you know, what kind of concepts we believe to exist based on what we view in the world. But the very concept of evil is just this flat out, you know, broad concept of everything that we conceive to be bad.
Yeah, that's a human thing. The concept of evil was always manufactured by humanity to say, oh, this is bad for us, therefore it is evil. But there are some things, regardless of nationality or culture, that people can kind of somewhat agree on is evil. But in the majority of cases, there's a fucking psychopath with some gun there. I'm not touching that cunt. So, like, say for example, in the hyena and antelope situation, I don't think many people would deem that as evil. They'd probably deem it as tragic, but I don't think they deem it as evil because the hyena is trying to look after itself as well as its own cubs. But they're, let's say, chimpanzees, for example. Chimpanzees are evil. They will go out of their way to torture whatever they're killing and not even eat it. Or sometimes they'll
Yes.
eat it while it's alive by picking lumps of flesh off it.
Yeah, there's
They
a
get
distinction there
satisfied.
because
Yeah,
there's a necessity behind one. There's a non-necessity behind the other.
exactly.
Orcas are known for that as well. Orcas are one of the few creatures on the planet who kill things for the sake of killing them. They don't kill them for food. They just kill them because they can. It's incredibly rare within the animal kingdom, but it does happen.
No, it's the more intelligent something is, the more evil it can be. So chimps are relatively intelligent, so they do commit evil acts. Orcas are super intelligent, so are dolphins. Go on.
Yeah, they're more capable of a bad act. I would say that. That's why I'm saying if you separate the concept of evil from it and separate it into good acts and bad acts, now you have examples of individuals who we can say with relative certainty based on our current level of knowledge that they're not psychopaths, but have regularly committed absolutely heinous crimes and showed no remorse. That's happened in our history. That to me represents evil because it's a heinous act. It's a bad act done, knowing it was a bad act, but done for the sake of it anyway, with no actual necessity behind it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think some people would pick it. It's hard to say on purpose in that sense, but it's more. Maybe I'm evil. Maybe we're all evil. But it's more. It's more they might get something out of it, even if it's just a minor thing. It could be that they've had trouble connecting with anything in the world and therefore have become like cold, distant. They don't really feel much.
Art, if you're saying that you don't think people are evil because they're just probably not aware of the consequences or action or something along the lines you were saying earlier on, I don't think that necessarily, makes you evil. Avant, that kind of says the opposite. If you were aware, you wouldn't do it, is what I was kind of assuming with yourself. Sorry to interrupt you there. I was just responding to him. Now that I'm out with the mission, I can actually focus. Because
it's interesting you should say there because he says because if I had the power, I would do some very intense stuff. Yeah, probably. But the interesting thing about power is there's a common term that's used, and I think it's misused. It's used incorrectly, which is the term power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. I don't think that's true. I think yes, it can. Sure. I don't think it's always true though. I think power reveals. That would be more accurate. So someone who is already capable of that kind of thing is more likely to do it when they're given that power.
No, I disagree with you. I think power can definitely corrupt. There's some very nice people that ended up turning into proper dickheads just because they got a whiff of power. Like, an awful lot of the times, people like to make out, oh, that quiet, nerdy guy in class, he'd never hurt anyone, la 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 la, until he gets to college and out and nowhere he's the smarter, cool kid, and then out and nowhere he's treating everybody like dog shit.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's that's not the case. I'm saying, like I did say, like yes, I absolutely do believe it can corrupt. Sure, absolutely, and I think it does an awful lot of the time. But I'm saying I don't believe it's as universal as people make it out to be. That's
yeah. So you're basically suggesting that it's not set in stone. Essentially, just because you get power doesn't necessarily mean you'll end up corrupt. Is that what I'm understanding from you?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Well, it's just I know an awful lot of people just assume whatever they're told and don't even think about it. So I was just kind of assuming that you are pointing the finger at those people, just saying basically that, oh, just because the set power corrupts doesn't mean that everybody's susceptible to corruption, or at least that was my interpretation.
Yeah, it's more a case of if, like, from my perspective at least, if someone gains power, especially if they hadn't had it before. The level of temptation there is much higher. They're more inclined to be corrupt. But someone who's prepping to become powerful or has a way of gaining that power is going to have a better grasp over it, and thus is less likely to do corrupt things, especially if they have a purpose behind them. That's why you see people who've been in power before but have done great things. So there is examples of that, which shows that it isn't a case of, oh yeah, once you get power, you're corrupted. Also, I think oftentimes you tend to see the corruption behind the person long before they actually gain the power. Long before it. Some people are better
Uh,
at hiding it, but I think
yeah, that just
oftentimes
all
you see
comes
it
down to the
before.
person, though.
True, yeah, yeah. Of course, yeah. Just
Uh,
that's what I'm saying. I don't like it I don't like this idea of absolute power corrupts absolutely. I don't like that concept because of how broad it is.
No, it
It
just
covers
makes you
this
more
entire blanket.
susceptible to corruption. The less
Sure.
people that like the if you really want to hinder corruption inside of a system, you need to have people of power be what you call it with the ability to be held accountable by its own citizens. And it seems like more and more we go into. Sorry, the more and more we go further on in our little societies, the more of a distance is put between the ones in power and the ones who aren't in power, so they're held less accountable. That's why an awful lot of this shit's going down, I believe. Sorry to sound conspiratorial, but I don't necessarily
I
believe.
think most people are waking up to that now.
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe that every single politician that goes in there would instantly turn down a bribe. As a matter of fact, they were like, dude, I can't take that shit. As a matter of fact, I have this charity, just donate it to me. 90% of the funds go to me anyway. You know?
Yeah. Well,
But
I mean, there's
I will
one
agree,
phrase.
there's plenty of examples of good rich people, for example, and money is like one of the key signatures of power, yeah? Like, there's influence and then there's money, but money can get you influence, therefore money is influence to a degree. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would. Yeah.
Preventing corruption that sounds like science fiction. To overcome corruption is to overcome human greed. There's no perfect system as of now. You're correct, because even if
I
you
think there
were
never will
able
be.
to hold, like, there's a reason why it's harder to hold politicians accountable for their actions, and it's more than likely just due to some issues that happened in the past, even in the very early stages of human society, where there's a good politician everybody loved, and someone just killed them, for example. So now the politician needs extra corruption, extra protection. Because the politician has this extra protection, he can get away with
Goes to their
more.
head. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he can
Well,
do
you
something
know what
wrong.
there's that saying, and I actually quite like this saying because I think it's absolutely true. The ones who should be leading us are the ones who don't want to.
Yeah, that's true, because the amount of... Well, I think most of it is down to red tape, if I'm being frank.
Partially, yeah, but I think a lot of people who tend to want to avoid politics are usually the ones who probably should be leading us. They're the
Yeah,
ones who would actually think that sensibly and wouldn't want to be corrupted. That's generally why a
I'll
lot
take
of
the
people
10
don't get
grand.
into politics.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. But, unfortunately, you can't force them to do their shit, you get me? Unless you're a
Of
communist.
course, yeah. That's the thing. I think that's again kind of the issue is that that's why I say like a lot of times it's often more a case of reveal than automatically corrupt. It's usually a case that they're already corrupt. That's why they're going towards them systems in the first place.
Yeah, it depends on the situation, but...
Sure.
Like,
Oh
take for
yeah.
example an awful lot of the
Not
rules that
always,
are
but
just
most of
become
them.
hindrances to us today. They were actually there to prevent something reasonable. An awful lot of them, not all of them, but an awful lot of them. Some were actually just put there out with sheer corruption. But I think everybody assumes if a rule's not in their favor, it's corruption. When realistically, it was probably there for safety for something that happened like yonks ago. I haven't said that word for so long I actually couldn't pronounce it.
Well, interesting because like, well, I will point this out because Art actually did mention that in his latest comment. I'm not speaking in absolutes. That's the thing. I'm not speaking in blanket terms. I'm speaking in average.
Mm-hmm.
So like on average. So there of course is
Oh
exceptions.
yeah,
to
when
it.
I mention the exceptions, I just want your opinion on it. Don't worry, I'm not necessarily saying you're an idiot and don't know what you're talking about. As I fucking
no, believe me, I
sniff
do
the
agree
snot
with.
that's coming down to me chin.
I do agree with the exceptions you made. Of course, there's obviously going to be those kinds of exceptions. It's just like when I say these kind of statements, it's usually on a general basis,
Mm-hmm.
as a sort of a rule of thumb, essentially. But yeah, of course, there's exceptions to it because if there wasn't exceptions, then everyone would be the same, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely, definitely. But I think as well as just had to kind of, it's a fucking pain in the face with corruption. With corruption, you have to spend an awful lot of time thinking exactly what way your shit can be put in that way, what way it can be abused. Do you get me?
Yeah, well, I think it's a lot easier when you have the backing of so many different. Like, I mean, look at BlackRock for example. BlackRock's a company now that has their hands in pretty much everything on the planet. Like they're the company that runs every other company. They're everything.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much power. So if you have your hands in with them, you have everything covered. You know, just by being in with them, you have everything covered.
Oh, yeah, definitely, and they just do a few
And that's
backroom
not a
handshakes.
conspiracy. Like you can check that out. You look up BlackRock, you find out they'll have percentages in everything that you can think of. It's not like a conspiracy or any kind. But once you realize that, you're like, oh well, hang on a minute.
You should both come play Foxhole with me. I was trying Foxhole and it just didn't work out for me. I was sitting there like a fucking spare
What's
prick.
Foxhole?
You actually might like it. If we have a group on it, it'd probably be more enjoyable with me. It's a massive multiplayer online isometric World War II type simulator. But it's not actually based in the real world. It's two fictional factions with their own backstory you can actually have a look at. Which I have heard the lore of it is actually astoundingly good. No, get in here.
How much is it?
It's 20 quid right now because of Steam sale. But it's not a case of you go out and it's just all combat. You actually can just like live as a logistics guy and drive a truck and just deliver stuff back and forth from the front line and all that. You can also harvest shit to craft stuff to bring to the front line. You can decide to be a medic where your goal is essentially to res people on the battlefield or get them to safety. There's research in it, there's ranks and stuff in it. You can make a little guild and then you can form your own base and hold off on one of the front lines if you want, or sit in the background and then just like tech up your base via a voting system.
Heavy on the role play. Heavy on the role play.
Well, when I was playing it for a bit, the people that were using their comms were kind of role-playing somewhat. I think the last thing I said in my last life on that game was, when I was dying, so you bleed out and the medics can save you if they rescue you in 30 seconds, was, oh, if you see my wife, tell her I said she's a fucking whore. I got a little snigger out of it, which was nice.
What is it about the game that didn't strike a chord for you?
I just don't think it's a game I can play with myself, play by myself. I think I'd need a squad. It's just a case of, it could be entertaining doing that shit and chatting away to your mates using the in-game mic and see if other people chime in. But when you're going out and you're just kind of dying by yourself, as well as, I think there was like the experience thing. It's one of those games where it's probably great crack even playing solo if you actually know what you're doing. But the game's kind of complicated to the point where you're better off just picking something. From my observation, you're better off picking some, sticking with it for a few days until you understand exactly what you can do with that role. I'm heartbroken you don't like it. Oh yeah, you roleplay all the way. Let's go make a fucking squad then. We'll make a squad then. How's tomorrow sound for you then, Mr. Art? Also, you interested here in that, Alan?
It does sound like it's up my alley, yeah.
Don't know why I thought you were about to say up your ass. I'll give you tips that will make things seem logical within minutes. Well, that would definitely be very appreciated. Because I literally was just fucking running out. I was dying. I was running out. I was dying. We had a tiny little squad there, and people, they weren't to push up, but it was like 5 dudes assaulting the fort. And they had like fucking, they had like manned machine guns. Sorry, NPC manned machine guns, and they had their own machine guns and little random mortar strikes. And I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? Every now and again, like 6 of them would rush us. What time approximately? Evening, I assume. Yeah, what time's it for you now, Art? Because it's 7:30 now. I should say at night, but it's summertime, so technically it's still the evening, based off sunlight.
I mean, 7:30 p.m. There you go.
7:30 p.m. Fair enough. 1900. How's that? 1930.
So you're exactly an hour ahead of us now.
So for you, let's say about 7 or half 7. So that'd be like 6 or half 6 for us, Alan.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're exactly an hour ahead of us. So yeah, it'd be like 6 or 7 o'clock for you.
No, for us. Basically. So I'm saying at his 6, time. Yeah, for us, 6 or half 6. So it'd be at 7 or half 7 for him.
Yeah.
I did kill a load of them though. I don't want to call them Nazis, but they kind of looked like Nazis.
I don't know exactly how long I'll be able to put into the game because I still have, as I said, I still have maps to do for D&D. So
that's grand. Something you could just do in your spare time. Yeah, I'll be on the PC by the time you come online. I'll be playing tonight as well. I might join you for a little bit tonight so you can explain something. Depends on how I'm doing on Tarkov, new wipe and all that. But yeah, we can play a bit tomorrow with yourself, Alan. It's a game you can just turn on whenever you want. Doesn't necessarily, you don't have to be there stringently. So the whole thing is a massive war. And just so you know, it's multiple servers all sharded. So each area is its own server. So you can go to a different server, like by just going to the edge and just pressing E on it, I believe it is, and then you get transported to the other server with all the shit on you. So yeah, basically you fight over these shards. When one side completely conquers the other, I think, then the map essentially resets and the war starts fresh again with all the tech needed to be unlocked again. Feel free to correct me. Feel free to correct me on this, Art. You're the fucking foxhole master. Which kind of makes it sound like you molest foxes a lot. Over here, anyway, because hole is often used as a term for sex.
And on the odd occasion, endearment.
Go on. Example? No
like,
correction,
you know,
you've been spot on as of now. Yeah, cool.
Like, you know, like laughingly calling someone an arsehole, for example.
Ah, yeah, but that's arsehole. That's not hole. Like, did you get your hole, lad? You know that?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
I'm not a foxhole master. I am only a second lieutenant and 1 year in. Yeah, well, you know what, Art? When you're this low on the totem pole, everything just looks giant when you're staring up.
Yep.
Same way when you're so high on the totem pole, everybody looks like a pawn.
Think of it in
now
terms
to
of
come back to our corruption talk. We have people in my clan that have played for 10 years and are generals and colonels. Fucking hell.
Right. If ranking works in terms of actual time deployed, then fuck that.
That doesn't matter. Just have a bit of fun.
Privates get the worst jobs, dude. We get hazed like crazy.
We could all like team up and be like the master truckers. Anyway, geopolitics. I love it, Art. I love Art. Yeah, the big problem in our country, since we're kind of
games to geopolitics,
is once again we're riddled with corruption. As Al mentioned earlier on, which we kind of made a joke about, but it actually happened, was Ireland. There was a load of oil found off the coast of Ireland. It was our oil, and our politicians just actually gave it away. No money, no deals. They're just like, here you go.
Like over here, we basically have a left-leaning, well, the American equivalent of left-leaning, government. And then we've got the American equivalent of the far left-leaning government, and then we've got the American equivalent, actually the global equivalent of a communist government. We don't really have many.
Yeah, we have some socialist stuff in there as well, like our socialist aspects, which I'm not going to say are terrible, but they get taken advantage of, and nobody sorts out the fact that people are taking advantage of them. But there was also that thing that happened years and years ago. Remember when we were kids with Apple, where there was like a $2 billion fine given to Apple, and our government just says, no, it's grand, don't have to pay. And I was like, they were doing like really illegal shit.
Yeah, I know a lot of it was down to information grabs that they were doing.
Yeah, and it's only it's everywhere. Like fucking, did you see that thing on the whole whistleblowing to do with the car companies where they were purposefully holding back technologies to keep selling gas guzzlers? Yeah. And it was one of the other companies whistleblowing. Nothing happened to the other car manufacturing companies. It was just like bold, spray with a water bottle, and that was it.
Well, no, they did get in pretty serious trouble for that, but they were given the time to basically move their companies out of where they were, and by doing that, they avoided all legal issues.
Yeah, but they shouldn't be allowed to do that. That's what I mean with a spray bottle. They should have already faced repercussions for the shit that they done. Like, at the end of the day, if you had someone with actual cures for cancer and he was holding it back because chemotherapy was just too profitable for him, you know, that person doesn't deserve to go to prison. That person deserves to be ripped apart by African wild dogs who notoriously start at the legs. And then they don't even finish it. They bring you back to the pups, and then the pups eat you while you're alive after all your limbs have been ripped asunder. And there's already a ton of Logi clans that know me, so I could connect our logistics to theirs. There's an organization in the Colonials called Port Sausage / Port. There are harbors where you can exchange empty resource containers for full ones, providing you with freighters full of containers with scrap. These can be refined into reservable material. Yeah, I did a bit of that offline. well, when I wasn't streaming. So if you're going to make a Logic clan, I have been a Logic guy thus far. Anyways, I have connections to make other stuff. I'm probably not going to be Logi. I'll probably like flip between roles just to get a taste of the game. But I'll probably do Logi some days. Maybe when I'm offline or something like that to pay back for all the resources I waste when I just go out and die on the battlefield. But I'd like to participate in the front lines, I guess. A little bit.
I'm going to be a full-blown resource blower.
A resource blower, you're just gonna go out and keep dying. You just like walk up to an enemy, sneak up behind, throw your gun at him, go, there you go, pussy, get shot in the head. You're like, I was giving him the gun.
Yeah, that's gonna be me.
Look at my character right now, Alan, on my stream. He literally looks like he does heroin for a living.
Probably fucking does.
I do everything, but I have a ton. I have done a lot of Logi. Logi seems very therapeutic because, as I said, I've done a little bit of it where you just go off, gather resources, and keep driving them about the place. You open up the map, you have a look at Logi requests, or you just go inside their stashes and see what they're missing. So, like, one of the things as well, Alan, you can't just spawn at a base. You need a resource in the base called a short. And every time you spawn, you consume a short. So one of the things that the Logi guys are responsible for is transporting shorts all the way to the front line so people can continuously spawn at the base.
Right, so it's meant to represent a supply line, basically.
Essentially, yeah. As well as medics, if they carry people back to their tent, they can get a short back, I believe.
Right. So that's kind of like, it's like a mix between, it's a good way of representing a supply line between other bases, as well as I suppose tickets for your like.
Oh, you're probably gonna. All
military.
Right, here we go. Here we go, man. Probably gonna love this, but if you're doing artillery, you'll have to have a dude with binoculars actually telling you what way to turn and what angle to shoot at.
Yeah, spotters, yeah, or markers even. Well, spotters and markers. Yeah, no, like that's one of the something that's always bugged me with games where or even movies as well, where they put snipers in as lone snipers. Like, I don't care how good you are at sniping, or how good your natural senses are, unless you're supernatural. Like, so, like Sniper Wolf from Metal Gear is a good example. The whole point of the enemies in the original Metal Gear Solid was that they were so good at what they'd done that they were supernaturally good at it. Sniper Wolf was a supernaturally good sniper, so she could do all this stuff on her own.
Oh man, the OG Metal Gear Solids, I missed them. Go on.
Oh yeah, but like the snipers generally. All the info about like wind direction and humidity and stuff like that, all of that affects their bullets depending upon range. And
yeah.
They have individuals, usually one, but sometimes multiple. They'll have one in comms, at least one in comms, and then they'll have one next to them. The one next to them will be a spotter who will tell them distance. It will tell them drop range, and they will tell them things like humidity. I mean, they'll have stuff over comms, giving them actual relay information of like, okay, well, this is what's in your way. This is what's blocking your shot. Make sure you adjust for that. You know, so you'll have a bunch of people working with this one sniper. It won't just be one person, and that's always bugged me in TV shows. But yeah, it's the same for artillery, obviously, because they're firing from like half a fucking mile away. Yeah. The best thing about Logic is you bring your own weapons to the front. Expensive weapons like machine guns, mortar tubes, grenade launchers, tanks, ammo. There's always shortages of these on the front line, of course, yeah. I'll use this to surprise the enemy with a sudden new weapon entering stagnating bridge fight. Yeah, that makes sense. This not just push the front line. Train the new guys, the corporals, privates, and sergeants. So I'd love to be in a sergeant or corporal position.
No, you gotta work hard, man. I think you might actually enjoy it because the people are actually pretty social when you get the mics going, and an awful lot of them do mics.
Yeah, it's just it depends on how patient they can be, because you know what I'm like with games. Like I reach a certain point.
I haven't encountered anyone toxic, but Art has warned me of toxic people in the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a game. You know, it's people. There's bound to be some level of toxicity. Like it's inevitable, but that's what I'm saying. Like it depends on my patience, because I'm not always the fastest with this kind of stuff. So.
Oh yeah, just take your time and enjoy yourself. The thing about Logi, it's as Art will even tell you, it's kind of like nobody really gives out to you because you're just given supplies. It may not be the supplies that they wanted because you miscalculated, but it's still supplies at the end of the day. You know?
Sure. Yeah.
But sure, yeah,
Sure,
I'll
look.
play. It's because I was even saying it to Key. He was kind of bored shitless looking at me playing it on stream. And the promotion is not bad, but you'll be sergeant. Oh,
So you're sick of being one. Guarantee
sorry, I
it.
just thought I heard a noise.
No, no worries. Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing. I'd be okay with a situation like that. Like I don't think I could do the cornwall role, for example. Um, I don't know. It depends. Do cornwalls go to the front line? Because it's not like in terms of military, it's usually not the case.
I think everybody fucking just decides to do whatever the fuck they want, you know? Like, they might be a corner. I don't know, Art, once again, can correct me on this. He's the Grandmaster from my perspective. But I'd imagine corporals every now and again will just go to the battlefield for a bit of fun, you know? At the same way, it's a rank, so I think it's more like a level more than anything else. But people will probably just act like, Sorry, I'm fucking trying to decide what I want to get. Okay, we'll get rid of you. We'll get the morphine.
Oh, okay. So, okay, so whatever way you contribute, then players will essentially commend you for it when you gain ranks based on commendments. Okay. Yeah, obviously, yeah, it's kind of roads, yeah, of course. Yeah, okay.
Have
Well,
a gander
is,
anyway and see what you like, what you think.
Yeah, what I'll do is because I'm going to bed in like 20 minutes or so. What I'll do is I'll look into it tomorrow morning and see what I think of it.
No, you'll look into it now, mister. I wish I could take that gun.
Oh, you don't have a pouch?
The scav I spawned with had the worst backpack in the game.
Yeesh. Right. Yeah, because you just want to get everyone as high rank as possible, yeah.
Mm.
And aside from, like, is there side benefits to being a higher rank? Like, is there stuff that you get? Like, say I go from a private to a sergeant, do I get like upgraded gear or stuff that I'm not allowed to usually have as a private that I can now have as a sergeant?
Это что за хрень?
I would assume as well that there'd be limits on, like time limits, for example, on, you know, like commending people that you know personally. So nobody takes sergeants seriously. Sergeants are the most annoying. Really? That's interesting.
I think the sergeant is probably the most annoying rank because he said you'll be sick of being a sergeant. So I'm guessing everybody kind of gets hard stuck at sergeant because maybe the requirements to rank up is even harder again. So they became arrogant. Oh, arrogant. I like me a good corporal because they still listen, especially if you compliment their efforts. Alright, so is it a case of the corporals are like, oh, cheers for the suggestion, whereas the sergeant would be like, fuck you, I'm in charge, and get everybody killed.
Right. I would say that there's probably a lot of sergeants as well, and because of that, it's considered like it's not quite private, but it's not quite anything impressive either, which is interesting. I believe I would actually call that a mistake. I would call that a mistake because in a lot of militaries, there's steps you have to go through in the private sector before you become sergeant. So, for example, over here, there's 3 stages of private before you're sergeant. No, sorry, I think over here it's actually corporal and sergeant. I recall. I might be wrong about that. Yeah, if it's sergeant, no, it's not. It's 3 stages. 3 stages private, sergeant, corporal. If sergeant tells me second lieutenant to do something, I don't even respond. To be fair, lieutenant is actually a higher rank, so when a lieutenant colonel tells me to do something, I'm usually already on it. Yeah.
On a higher rank, you
Yeah, that makes
ask. Alright, so sergeants tell higher ranks to ask. You're like, they're a higher rank, I'm gonna go with this guy because he seems nice.
Yeah, sergeant's job is usually to train the rookies. They're the one. They're usually like squad. So basically, like, you know, in like say 40k, for example, where you'll have like a basic Space Marine squad, and then the guy leading them would be a sergeant. Like, that's kind of their job, essentially, to lead the basic troops. The corporals are the ones above them, basically giving them the orders that come down from the likes of lieutenants and lieutenant colonels. And then the generals are the ones overseeing everything.
No, sergeants are the rooksy in Foxhole, at least. Yeah, he was just talking more about actual what the rank means in real life, essentially, and in other... Well, what it's supposed to mean, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Because there's the... I'm guessing, like, yeah, so if sergeants are, like, the lowest rank you can be, you get the sergeant on the first day. Right, okay. Because there's usually, like, a whole private system that operates in most militaries. In fact, I think on all militaries. Yeah, so like over here, for example, in Ireland, it's you can go from 1-star private to 3-star private, then you become a sergeant, and then you become a corporal. And I think from 1-star to 2-star is a minimum of 2 years in service. And then you have to go through an examination essentially to get to 3rd-star, and then there's you have to basically do something impressive to become sergeant, and then there's a test to become corporal. And then from then on, it's length of service combined with commendations to become things like lieutenant and so on. So there's a whole list of there's a gradual list of things you have to do within the military. And in some cases as well, to get beyond the rank of something like a corporal, you might have to actually employ your services, not just in terms of what you do at home, but in terms of going over and doing actual peacekeeping. Not the same as going to war, obviously, because we're neutral, but you would still be in a war zone location. So, you can't go beyond a certain point unless you've done that. So yeah, that's applying it real life. Oh, nice, it's Walter. Yeah, it's not obviously it's not the same in the game, but yeah, I think sergeant being sort of like the default is just that's a little bit bizarre to me.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna say I hate it, but I can understand why you don't necessarily think it's a good thing, which I'll agree with you. I don't think it's a good thing because sergeants should get some respect, I guess. But I guess when they were doing it, they were just like, "Ah, fuck a sergeant. Here we go. We'll have this many accommodations," and they probably didn't think too much about it, nor did they really care too much about it. Because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure even if a rookie says something, that makes sense. The upper ranks will be just like, actually, yeah, let's do that. They're not necessarily going to say, "Watch your fucking step, private. The best part of you roll down the side of your mother's leg, son." None of that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one I always get confused of, is whether corporal comes before a sergeant.
Corporal comes after sergeant over here.
I think it does, yeah.
No, it was in the fucking... What's the FCA called again? Since they changed it to an English name.
The Reserves Force, is that what we're talking about?
The RDF, yeah, the Reserve Defence Forces. So I was in that, if you remember, when I was in my later teens. And it went sergeant, then corporal.
I'm looking at. I'm actually gonna look at the direct.
Yeah, fucking do it.
No, because
actually, I should check on this shit going on. Oh, this can go on my AK. What about you? I bet you can't go on that, can't you not? Oh, you get sold.
All right. No, it's actually sergeant is actually after a corporal. So it's
wait,
recruit.
Sergeant's after corporal.
Yeah. So recruit, private 2nd star, private 3rd star.
So that's different in the RDF, man.
Well, this is actually the RDF one I'm looking at now.
That's weird.
Force rank insignia.
That's weird because I remember specifically them telling us the sergeants are the one in charge.
Yeah, I could have.
The sergeants are the one that you do that. You go 3-star sergeant, then corporal.
Well, I do remember a friend of ours. Well, I say friend loosely, but you remember Kenneth? He did go for the corporal exam. He failed like 3 times.
Huh? I know.
Yeah, it's recruit, private 2nd star, private 3rd star, corporal sergeant, company quartermaster sergeant, company sergeant, regimental quartermaster sergeant, sergeant major, junior officer cadet, senior officer cadet, 2nd lieutenant, lieutenant captain, commandant, lieutenant colonel, brigadier general, major general, and then lieutenant general. So yeah, nuts. There's a lot of ranks as well.
Mm-hmm. Actually, that fucking vest is worthless, so I think I'm just gonna sell it.
It's the same with the Irish Air Corps now. I'm looking at it. I did not know that. Corporal comes before sergeant. Huh. I think I have to try and remember that because them two always
Private,
fucking
Lance
fuck me off.
Corporal, Corporal Sergeant, Staff Sergeant, Second, First Warrant Officer, Officer Cadet, Second Lieutenant, Lieutenant Captain, and Major, etc., etc. Oh, I forgot one foxhole rank. No rank. That's all the way in the beginning with 0 commends. Yeah. But yeah, if you wanna, do you have the money to pick up the game and all? Yeah.
Say again?
Do you have the 20 quid to pick up the game? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Grand. So if you're interested, then you can play with me and Art tomorrow. We'll get Art into Discord and he can talk about all the politics he wants. Just don't say and that'll get me banned.
Probably everybody will have.
Yeah, just don't report me, so. Don't report me, bro.
Notice I haven't said anything.
And I'll hold on to those earphones. Right, so we're doing all right now. Actually, there is one more thing I need to do. Mechanic, where art thou?
Don't worry, Art. That makes everybody angry and sad.
No, I'm gonna talk about politics that makes me angry and sad. I am.
I will say though, it can be a bit cathartic sometimes as well, just to get it out, like to vent a little bit. You know.
You can be cathartic sometimes. Yeah, I said it.
Does that kind of count as a compliment?
Shut your fucking ass up, Alan. Right, if I find another one of these, I can actually replace it for a brand new one. Oh, get rid of my pistol. Don't need that right now. Wait a minute.
Did you find a weapon necessary to upgrade for that task you were given?
No. No, I didn't. Alan, do I ever get my shit handed to me for free? No.
I mean, it's hard to for free. You've been going out and doing shit, but sure. I see
Yeah,
what
right.
you're getting at.
Look, man, Orange Jesus. I can't do an Orange Jesus. It comes along and it just fucking ruins me.
What's the crack with Kane? Where's he gone to?
I don't know. He said he had to get food or some shit, and knowing Keen, he's gonna be like gone for all the day because he has like the fucking digestion system of a lady. Probably shouldn't have said that.
Probably not.
But I don't fucking care. These are 545.
If you get reported, you can blame Art.
I'll definitely be blaming Art. He's my commander after all, so whatever happens to me is technically his fault.
Nice. But you know it won't be me because I'm way too lazy to report somebody.
Sad thing is, I know you're not even lying. Alright, let's do a little warm-up with this gun since I haven't used it in a while. But I have a scope on it, that's cool. Alright, here we go. Enable. The impossible bots on horde mode with enable bosses. Tomorrow I'm going to take you guys on a mission that's similar to how I got to know the game. An artillery mission. I do like to make stuff go kaboom.
Oh yeah, that's always fun.
Kaboom! Where's that from? There was a guy that used to just randomly scream kaboom.
Oh, that was from Worms. Worms 3D.
Now I remember. Thank you, Alan. For once in your life, you weren't useless.
Wow, okay.
I always have to throw in an insult, man. I can't have your head getting too big now, can I?
Sure, I can understand. You gotta make yourself feel better.
Oh, of course. Well, I don't even have to try really hard with you. I just look at you and I feel better.
Sure. just keep them coming. I don't mind. I'll be the punching bag. I'm too tired to fight back.
I can tell you're too tired to fight back. That's when I strike. Yeah. As the hyena attacks the gazelle, who has injured his leg. The hyena no care. Is the hyena evil? We don't know.
No, but you definitely are.
I'm not evil. I'm pleasant. How dare you, sir?
Yes, pleasantly evil. See, everyone knows the evil person.
We
is the one
deploy,
who
get some
pretends to be
randoms to
pleasant.
help us, and we hammer an enemy base to shit. Now that sounds fun. If they've teched 120mm RT, that is, let me check. Alright, it's going to find out exactly where they're at with their technology. So I think right now there's no tanks in the game yet, because they haven't been researched by either side. Just so you know, Al.
Alright. So we're basically World War I level of, like, bomb the area with artillery while people tried to cross no man's land.
Yeah, essentially. Like, it looks like when you have a full squad out, it's actually great crack. But when you're playing by yourself, you're just running around like a headless chicken. But I'd say if you have more knowledge, you could have an awful lot more fun with it, you know?
I don't know, it's a bad company, actually.
There's armored vehicles, but yeah, the war is only a couple of days old. So remember I was telling you about once one side wins, they restart the whole thing again?
Yeah.
Yeah, so... Yeah. So, you're not going to come across tanks.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with that, simply because, you know, beginner level.
Last I did check, we did have rocket launchers. So even when they get tanks going, we still have something on the ground to deal with them.
Sure. What is it? Is it third person, fourth person? What is it?
It's isometric, so you know, like Diablo.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why I asked that when you already told me.
Oh my god, I tapped that guy in the head and panicked and shot some more anyway. Right, he's downstairs. I love these guys screaming.
Kind of reminds me of hiking bags from DayZ.
Basically is, if you see. This dude had some mad shit in his bag.
Левый коронный, правый похоронный. Чё, забыл, кто тебе батон в будку закидывает?
Thankfully, there's not too many people here.
Хуярь медведя!
Blah, 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 blah. I love the scab screaming in this. They make the funniest, cutest noises. We're totally, completely slaughtering the wardens at the moment, though, because the game's on sale, and the biggest foxhole streamer... Alright. That scared the fuck out of me again.
I have a sneaking suspicion, though, if it does get bigger, you're going to have streamers on both sides, which should even the playing field.
I don't know, it seems like a very niche game that only some people would like.
Sure. I think it just depends on, you know, as I said, how quickly people catch on to it, because at the very least it could catch some...
Fuck! I spent too long looting. All the reason why I loot when I'm even playing offline, just so I can get quick at looting. Badman Larry, they call him. Absolute legend, that man. Alright. I wasn't overly satisfied with our practice. Let's go again.
Oh. So if you don't manage to extract, I'm assuming you lose all your gear, right?
Yeah. This is an offline raid, though, so it doesn't actually count. Even if I find stuff, I need to top up my coffee.
Alright, so it's literally just like full-blown practice, essentially.
Yeah, it is. So, like, I think people just, like, don't do this, the offline practice stuff that I'm doing. But in this game, I kind of find it that you don't get to spend an awful lot of time with your gun. And because you might find a gun then, like, 10 raids later, the same gun, I always feel it's a good idea to practice with the gun before you go out with it. So, like, because each gun has its own unique recoil and spray patterns. So, yeah, and even at that, there's some other, I'm going to call them meta skills. So, like, you know, the skills in between skills almost. Such as looting that you can get, like, that I always like to practice as well on it. So that way I'm not actually shot by a player because I took too long deciding what to do with me loot. Do you get me?
Right, yeah. God, yeah, like learning that in DayZ was a fucking nightmare.
So that's why I do it when I'm practicing. Oh yeah, there are plenty of big warden streamers, but they don't play 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. Streams and Larry does. See, I'd actually love to stream that much, but work gets in the way. I hate this thing they call having a fucking career.
Yeah, I will say though, like once you've reached a level where you can sustain that kind of play, and you have a game that you can put that level of play into without getting bored of it, which is rare in and of itself in some cases.
Oh yeah, but
you're
like
making enough money to sustain yourself at that point. You don't need a job. Although it's always nice to have some backups.
yeah, I can get into games an awful lot. It's just when you have an awful lot of shit going on in the background, it's just kind of hard to focus, you know?
Sure, yeah. I can say this though, like I don't know of a single game. I know a lot of games that I enjoy playing. I don't know a single game where I could play it to that level for even a year. And I still enjoy it.
I don't know. I think if you were getting more rewards out of you could, because remember how much you used to be mad about Monster Hunter and shit?
Sure. But even then, I would take breaks from it.
Yeah, but even the streamers that played it for a year will take the occasional day break, you know? You can get bored of Foxhole, but there's so many different things you'll always find yourself coming back when you're hooked. Yeah, it seems like one of those games where it's great crack for a bit, and then you can just come back to it, you know?
Yeah, like I do enjoy games like that. Like the Monster Hunter is actually a great example that you just brought up there, where there's so much in. Like for example, Monster Hunter Troy was my like big one. Monster Hunter Troy and Monster Hunter Freedom 2.
No, they were great games.
Yeah, like Freedom 2 was when I played locally with Sean and my brother. Whereas Troy, the three of us went online, and I could play that on my own, or I could play it with friends. And yeah, like I could be addicted to that game for months. But then once I went off it, I was also off it for months. So what I'm saying is like a game where I'm playing it to the level I was playing Troy, but for the span of an entire year or more, you know, it would have to be an exceptional game. Or something that just catches me in that exceptional way, and I've yet to discover that.
But like, let's just say you were streaming and you were getting rewards. Feel free to chime in on this as well, Art, as well, since you seem to be pretty chatty today, which I do enjoy. Say if you were a streamer and you had like even 500 concurrent viewers, which apparently once you're at 500 concurrent viewers, you're basically earning more than I would as a software engineer. Funny enough. Well, you still have to pay your taxes, so maybe a little bit less. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure you wouldn't mind playing a game just to chat to people. Like, if you can tag something on that can keep yourself occupied. Like, I enjoy chatting to random people, such as, like, Art when he comes in. Or even, like, Dawson with Boar, which makes it an awful lot easier to just go on and constantly keep repetitively playing the same game over and over again. Now, even at that, I haven't been great at playing the same game. Like, as you know, there's some stuff going up with my dad as well, so I've been, there was a point where I just didn't stream for like 3 weeks or some shit like that because I was dealing with hospital shit.
Yeah, I was just keep in mind I wasn't laughing at what you just said. Obviously, I was laughing at what Art said. So if you're a hot chick, 50 viewers is enough, which is totally fucking true.
Well, he's not wrong there because they'll just get donated all their money. Ha 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 ha. Write my name on your chest, please.
Given some of the boards that are on Twitch, you don't even have to be hot. You could be average or even below average in some cases.
Yeah.
Everyone has their fetishes, as they say.
Yeah. Well, I just think there's an awful lot of sad dudes out there. Like, I think I said this already. I don't necessarily blame the female streamers for doing it. Like, at the end of the day, they have a market they're tapping into. I don't like the ones who claim they're not doing it when they are.
Yeah, the ones who admit it, I have respect for, because they're like, yeah, look, there's an opportunity here. I'm fucking taking it because opportunities don't come across.
The point I was making anyway was it's kind of hard for me to focus right now on doing the thing. But if the stream was to pick off and I was to say even get 50 viewers, like some chatty people in here, you'd probably find me just turning on any game and just sticking with it for a long time just because I'm chatting to people about it, you know?
Sure,
there was some guys coming in when I was playing Tarkov.
I'm talking about in terms of commitment.
Depending on where you live. If you live in Russia now, you're basically a millionaire at 100 views. You're not wrong because their money's worth things. But even at that, I do have a fellow streamer dude I chat to every now and again called Forget TD. And he isn't allowed to receive payments from Twitch.
Yeah. Every company is cracking down on Russians because they're treating the Russian civilians as if they were the Russian politicians. And they're doing it all for the sole sake of...
each and every single one of them in their mind is a Putin.
That's the irony of it is that all of this is all based on keeping the conflict going. That's what totally frustrates me about that situation. But like I've even heard it from Aelith now, where like she's been on the receiving end of actual, like not like modern day lefty woke bullshit, but like I'm talking actual race.
Oh yeah, there's definitely thing. Well, it's not racism now. Come on, it's xenophobia, pal. Come on, get your phobias correct.
Yes and no. Yeah, that would be more accurate. Yeah. It is still based on the fact that she's Russian, but it's not like, oh, we're superior to you. It's more she's getting prejudged for things that she's not even remotely responsible for.
Oh yeah, I know. I was giving out about this already. Some of the Russian people were like getting locked up because they were basically giving out and being like, why the fuck are we at war? We don't want to be at war. And then the fucking police come along and just take them off. And you're just sitting there and you're basically punishing those people. Whoops, didn't know that. But could have what didn't you know? I'm not 100% sure there.
You didn't know about the Russians being denied services.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. I know Steam did something similar. I have
phobophobia.
Phobophobia. Fear. That is a terrifying situation to be in. I feel bad for you, sir. You are both brave and an attractive lady. Too real?
Dude, could you imagine actually being afraid of fear? That like.
Well, that comes back to the whole thing of the only thing you should be afraid of is fear itself or some shit like that. Except, you know, Arthur is actually only afraid of fear itself.
It's a mixture of like a self-fulfilling prophecy and kind of paradox. Afraid of people with made-up phobias. Sure. Oh, excuse me. I'd be surprised if phobophobia isn't actually a thing, though.
I actually think it is.
I'm actually checking that now. Because there's a phobia for fucking everything, so... Phobophobia is an intense fear of being afraid. Yeah. Some people might be terrified at the physical symptoms that come with fear, such as rapid breathing or dizziness. Others are scared of developing another phobic disorder. So it could be fear of developing a phobia. Wow, okay.
Alright, interesting. Remember that Mad Men? Right, one more warm-up, because I think I was getting good with the old hip fire and that. I got an extra person. And even at that was kind of clean, but I keep getting snuck up on while I'm looting. What was that made-up one? The fucking fear that you're being watched by a duck, which people thought was an actual real phobia, and then it was like, no, it's actually made up.
I'd never heard... Oh, actually, no, I did hear you mention that before, yeah.
Actually, I forget what it was. There was a comedian that was making a joke at the amount of phobias that were out, and he made up a word, and I don't know what the award actually was, but people believed that phobia was real. I'm not even gonna lie, part of me believed it was real as well, but it sounded ridiculous. But at the time, I was just literally in a situation where I just thought everybody was, I think I'm allowed to say it, retard.
Just as one can fear being diagnosed with cancer, there is no self-contradiction that one can fear being diagnosed with a phobia. Neither is it absurd. Neither is phobophobia a false logical proposition. In response to the title, no, not a paradox.
Afraid.
I'm saying, okay, yeah, it's not a paradox because it doesn't reverse itself, but it's definitely self-fulfilling, depending on the fear of. Because like, it depends on how you define it. Because it does say in its initial definition that phobophobia is an intense fear of being afraid.
And Google came up with phobophobia. Oh, so phobophobia is actually real. Like the actual term.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It does say others can be scared of developing another phobic disorder. Now, fear of developing a phobic disorder, which is technically a fear of developing a fear, is still under the bracket of phobophobia. So, like, for example, like going, okay, I don't want to go up to this cliff because I don't want to develop a fear of heights. You know, that kind of thing. That's phobophobia.
I think that's a dumb word. Because, like... Yeah, I think you can develop fears based off people's reactions, but I think an awful lot of it is put into it, so you'll already have a phobia. So having a fear of developing a phobia, so say like climbing a hill or climbing a cliff or something like that. I don't know. It just feels like an awful lot of these phobias can just put into, I'm a person who is overly cautious. I made it up actually, but it seems real. Yeah, there you go. You're basically that comedian from years ago. I just speak Greek. I'm not a fucking fruitcake. Don't get me wrong. Well, I thought you were taking the piss with the fear of fear. Right, there we go. That was a nice strafe kill.
It's only fear of fear in the most technical of senses. It's fear of developing a fear would be more accurate, or fear of developing a phobia. But yeah, no, I can actually understand that because I've developed phobias over the years.
So, are you afraid to develop phobias? Or are you just concerned based off experience of what would happen that causes you to develop a phobia?
I'm understanding of the position. I'm not myself afraid of developing phobias. I've done stuff that probably could go down that lane, but just happen to have not. Well, you know yourself, I developed a phobia of jellyfish and a phobia of bees.
That's not a phobia, right? A phobia is irrational. Jellyfish can fucking hurt.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of jellyfish that are completely harmless.
Yeah, but you don't know that. Like, for example, when I was in Spain with Simon that one time, I seen a toad. No, my good jump!
Well, here's the thing. This is what makes it irrational, is the fact that even when I'm completely knowledgeable of the fact that they will do absolutely no harm, I'm still afraid of them.
Yeah, but that's because
So if I'm outside the water and I actually see jellyfish, I'm very likely to get panicky, even though I'm not even in the water. Same with bumblebees. I know bumblebees will not sting me. I could go up and batter their nest. They still won't sting me. I'm still afraid of them. That's irrational. So it's not the fear itself, it's the knowledge of the reason that I'm afraid not existing, but still causing that same level of fear uncontrollable. That's what a phobia is.
Alright, fair enough, but I still don't think it's irrational because it's a shape and you're not 100% sure. You need to check the chamber of this weapon. Huh?
You have to take the mag out and then check the actual thing.
Well, good thing I can actually figure out how to fix this shit in the game. Discard, load, reload. Unequip.
Yeah, as far as I know, you usually have to eject the mag and then pull back the loading bar.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do that. You look like the barrel. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, that's the barrel of the gun, I guess.
Is that where you're from, by the way, Art? Is he from Greece, is he? Or does he just speak Greek sometimes?
I think he just speaks Greek. Here we go. I've uninstalled so many parts here. Oh, fuck, that's not it.
Weird to me that uninstall is the only option. You would think there'd be a load option.
I'm just gonna Google it. Tarkov. Cool! Cool!
What's there, a hotkey for it?
No, I was just Googling it as the thing. Misfire. Misfire is experienced with complete failure. Bolt, failure to eject, failure to feed, jammed bolt. So I think I had failure. No, I didn't. Why don't you... Clearing a malfunction. After inspecting your weapon, you will be notified that what specific malfunction has happened. And how to clear it. Left shift T. This is the one problem I have with this fucking game. There's so many buttons, they should actually just fucking tell you when it happens.
Trypophobia, scared people in Greek. Oh, excuse me. So fear, okay. Fear of people with made-up phobias would be something like, oh god. I'm not even gonna try and read that.
Alright, let's see if we can get that to happen again and see if left shift T works. But I am getting good practice with this gun. Because I think this gun can carry an awful long way if I just get good with it. As well as I got a scope for it. I'll probably just have to see if I can fix the receiver off it though. So that way it jams less. Yeah, he's Dutch, there you go.
Yeah,
Which I actually even forgot that.
Yeah, I just read it now. Yeah, the whole phobia thing, fear of people is anthropophobia. I don't know what the other one was meant to be.
Did you say a fear of people with phobia?
No, fear of people is anthropophobia.
Oh, I thought you said a fear of people with phobias.
Well, he does mention that afterwards, which is...
Yeah, but I thought that's what you were talking about. My bad. Continue talking anyway.
Omnisophobe. Bismenia. Anthropophobia. Anthropophobia. Fucking hell. That is... No. I tried. I gave my best go.
Yeah, we'll blame scientists for having the stupidest names on things.
Well, no, I don't think that's an actual thing.
Could be. I don't know. You ever seen some of the fucking thing? You know what the garden ant's called? Actually, I can't call you what the garden ant's called. I'll get banned. Because the N-word being included in stuff might get flagged.
I want to see if dyslexiphobia is a thing.
What, fear of someone with dyslexia?
Yep. Or fear of dyslexia. In general.
Or fear of...
Even if you don't have it, like.
Hmm.
Fear of dyslexia or people spelling wrong words.
Well, nice to know I can fucking scare the piss out of people. Some people.
Humilophobia, fear of camels. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call that irrational, though. Camels can fuck you up.
I'd say that's the thing. I don't know how much of this you can trust because it is coming directly like from the first page of Google, so that's not always the most reliable thing.
Yeah, but come on, let's be honest. When conditions are made up, technically they're real because people agree they're real.
This can't be real. What? Hippopomonstroses equipdaliophobia. One of the longest words in the dictionary. And oh my god, you know, in an ironic twist, it's the name for the fear of long words.
Oh yeah, I heard that one before.
Hippopomonstroses that is hard to say, holy fuck.
That's a hard word to say.
Hippopomonstroses equipdaliophobia. Why? Fucking why? So stupid.
Goodbye. But take that with a grain of salt.
Ooh, there's one I would not want to have.
Yeah, I'm fucking dyslexic. I can't read that shit. It's the same thing. As a dyslexic or a person with a learning difficulty, why the fuck is my condition so hard to spell? Think about that for a second. F indeed, sir. But don't worry, this is just a little bit of practice. They were also on it like fucking very hard. I gotta start aiming for the legs. But we'll do one more scav run, then do a PMC. Also, welcome to the chat, Jonathan. See, now that's a name you can read.
Well, hang on, is Jonathan in Twitch chat or?
Oh, he's on YouTube.
Okay. Hello, Jonathan. Yeah, the one I really wouldn't want to have is simnophobia.
What's that?
Otherwise known as hypnophobia. It's fear of falling asleep.
Oh God.
That would be absolutely.
Do you know what's fucking awful? You ever hear about those people that are allergic to their own sweat?
No, but that sounds atrocious.
Yeah, they break out in hives and shit as soon as they start sweating. That would sound like a fucking nightmare to me.
It's uncontrollable.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck. Screw that shit.
And apparently there is actually some people that are somewhat allergic to water.
See, that makes less sense. It depends on the symptoms, I guess, but it makes less sense.
No, it's more of a skin issue. It's not necessarily an ingestion issue. So, like, they'll break out in hives as well. But the sweat one, I was just sitting there, I was like, imagine how much you would fear summer.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, you'd literally be walking around in the nip in a fucking shadow all the time, just being like, please, heat, go away, go away. With like 60 fans blowing on you.
Well, you naturally, even if that's the thing, you naturally perspirate anyway. So, for example, do you know why, especially modern people, tend to actually smell?
Yeah, they do exist. Go on.
It's because we wear clothes.
Well,
Literally the reason.
Clothes heat you up as well as they absorb sweat, and sweat that, you know, is there for a while starts to stank.
Yeah, it doesn't perspirate enough. because something blocking it. But here's an interesting thing you might not know, actually. A lot of people, you ever hear those misconceptions about how to stop mosquitoes and such from biting you?
Yeah.
And it's always like, oh, use honey or, use something with a strong scent and stuff like that. Yeah, complete bullshit.
Yeah, same with the whole garlic thing.
Yeah, the reason being is because they don't smell you. That's not why they get attracted to you. Apparently, they can pick up different things, different chemicals in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It's not by smell. There's an actual there's something in their system that does. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it basically they can pick up different things like perspiration, so things like sweat.
Did you hear
breath.
about like how they're trying to combat the whole mosquito malaria shit?
Go on.
They're biochemically engineering mosquitoes to have a dominant gene that combats malaria. So when they suck the blood of something that will actually cause them to possess malaria, it'll just like scrap them. So what they're hoping to do is breed up enough of these mosquitoes, let them loose in the wild, and hopefully they'll breed with other mosquitoes, and making that gene that prevents malaria dominant. So that way then all mosquitoes that will be born at a certain point won't be able to transfer malaria.
I mean, it's good in theory.
You're right, that is playing God, but I don't know. I think a very unpopular opinion, but I think there's far too many people on the planet as is. I think we hit the first world where people still had a third world mentality regarding children, so we have an awful lot. Like, I have fucking tons of aunties and uncles when shit wasn't even that bad back when they were growing up. Well, I shouldn't necessarily say that. My parents did lose two. Me ma lost two of her siblings, and I think my dad lost two of his as well. But yeah, we don't need 10 billion people. But like most of the problems that we're facing today, I think is like a good chunk of it just comes down from population.
But I would say this.
I know you were, Art. You're a smart lad.
I agree with Art in saying that they shouldn't actually do that, but for a completely different reason. The problem with organisms of that size, microorganisms like that, is how susceptible they are to evolution. And because of that, it's inevitably going to change to something. Now, it could change to something completely benign, or it could change to something so much fucking worse. And it's not worth the risk.
It depends, because like it all depends on exactly what benefits are added. Like, is it beneficial, say for example, for mosquitoes to kill the hosts they feed on?
Well, no, obviously not.
Yeah, so if that would be a benefit to a benefit to mosquitoes. If they're seen as less harmful, then they allow more of them will survive.
Mosquitoes don't have any control over it because it's all based down to the microorganism that they happen to be infested by.
Yeah, I know, but the fact of the matter is mosquitoes are exterminated mainly because they spread this. So if they don't spread this, then they're less likely to be exterminated. So it kind of works somewhat in the mosquitoes' benefit, but only because we're the apex.
There's a couple of issues.
But it beats the alternative, which has failed in the past.
Malaria is not the only problem with mosquitoes.
Yeah, I know, but like if they do it once, they can do it again.
Lyme disease as well. There's another one actually I was reading about that. If you get bitten by like a tick or a mosquito, you should go and check with your doctor, because there's a couple of diseases you can get that don't show symptoms for several weeks.
Oh yeah. I think the ones you're looking at are mainly tick ones, because a tick will feed 3 times in its entire life, and it kind of lodges on. And I think it's around the second time it feeds on a very particular animal that gives it those particular diseases. But there's nothing been done about ticks anyway.
Usually deer.
The point I was trying to make also, when are we going to stop at 50 billion? No, we're probably going to stop when we go extinct from our own bullshit, or we successfully leave the planet. And then we have multiple planets to occupy, because each planet will have its own cap of humans that it can have on it, which would probably be very thing. Both Lyme and malaria can remain dormant for decades. You're absolutely correct. Yes. But the fact with the mosquito thing is it definitely beats the alternatives. Cool. My scav didn't even load in. Nice. Back to customs again. Let's do this.
Antibiotics get beaten eventually.
Limes. Anyway, antibiotics, and that's when we rely on the other little things I forget the name of, which they're currently doing tests on, and it's a virus that hunts bacteria, specifically bacteria, by the way, and it only targets one type of bacteria at a time, and then the bacteria becomes resistant to them, but for some reason, as soon as it becomes resistant to them, it becomes less resistant to antibiotics, Anyway, the thing I was going to say with the mosquitoes is it beats what we've done in the past already when we were trying to deal with a certain species that can manage their populations, like introducing the toads into Australia, for example, which threw everything out of whack because nothing could combat their poison, or fucking removing wolves from fucking Yellowstone. Then out of nowhere, loads of species start going critically endangered until they were moved back in because they got hunted by the wolves who were out competing absolutely everything else. As well as like an awful lot of this testing stuff it could just lead to better things essentially. It's like
Sure.
I don't know if it's true, but did you hear about those two Chinese twins who were genetically modified to be immune to the HIV virus that their parents were carrying?
I'd heard about it. I'd never confirmed it though.
Yeah, apparently the doctor went missing, but I know this is xenophobic at most, okay? I don't necessarily like it being a phobia because of the particular government we're talking about. But this particular government where this person was, so once again, they were Chinese babies, he went missing, but part of me doesn't believe it. Because
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a pretty far-fetched story in and of itself, but I will say this: it's not really a phobia to dislike another government, especially when you have actual.
yeah, but
legitimate
by
reasons to
modern day
dislike them.
standards, if you don't like someone, oh, you're fucking
We're not
Latin
talking in the,
phobic.
yeah,
You're
obviously we're not
Hispanophobic.
discussing it in that context because it's ludicrous.
I know, that's why I said it might sound it.
Yeah, but it might sound it to others, but not obviously not to.
Fair enough.
ourselves.
I appreciate you people. Even Jonathan, who haven't said that since.
Sure. Yeah, like with that
I
kind of
should
stuff,
look up
it's
on that and see what the actual resolution on that is. But I know once you go missing,
probably isn't.
once the Chinese
Probably
government decides to do something, apparently it never happened ever.
Yeah.
It was like that whole
Yeah.
when they were trying to do their whole space game and they accidentally took out a village that people knew was there, but then the Chinese government were like, no, there was never a village there, haha,
Yeah.
because one of the rockets crashed into it.
Yeah, with scenarios like that, here's the thing. You're always going to be left wondering whether or not it was true, because if it wasn't true, then it never happened. If it is true, you're never going to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm just wondering if there was ever a resolution.
Very unlikely.
Yeah. But yeah, we do need, like, I will say one thing, at least the Chinese did try to do some means of population control, although I don't think it was working. See, that's the thing is, though, like, and that's another thing, and I've said this since I was a kid, and you might even remember me saying this, Alan. Like, I've been saying this since I was a teenager. Every single time someone is born, you have less freedom.
Oh, there's a whole other bloody topic. Oof.
So, just to go back on the population thing, yeah, we're going to all end up killing each other way before the 50 billion mark. I'll say, as we get closer to 10 billion, you'll see shit start to heat up as people go at each other's throats. Like, it's already now, everything's being regulated. Like, over here, if you want to do anything to your house, you need to get permission from the government.
Well, I'll say this because there's been several claims made over the last few decades, where actually almost to the point of a century at this point, where they were claiming, 1 billion would be the limit, would be the mark where the world wouldn't be able to sustain us. Then it was 5 billion, then it was 6 billion, then it was 7 billion, and so on and so on. And there was
big time. Yeah, we are right. We are, sorry to cut you off. I'm just going to respond to Art real quick. We are already at each other's throats. So slap another couple of billion people. Yeah, well, I think part of it is down to population as well. We're already at each other's throats. Slapping a couple another billion people, and how much closer are we going to be to murdering each other?
Well, I don't think it's because that's the thing. I don't think that's actually the reason. I think that reason is being spread as the reason so that we don't look at the actual reasons. You know what I mean? Because you hear it all the time especially from things like news medias and hey, politicians about how we need to get this under control because, we can't sustain this. And it's like, no, it's not true. The world has plenty for us to do.
Just so you don't misunderstand me. Oh, go on, finish your thing. Go on, sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah, the world has plenty of resources for us to sustain ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, of course, we're going to have issues with things like, non-sustainable things like oil and stuff like that, right? Yeah, of course that's the case, right? But we're already working to deal with that, right? Way before climate change was a thing, we were working to deal with that, right? I don't think, obviously at one point or another, I'll put it this way, obviously at one point or another, absolutely, it can get to a point where having too many people becomes an issue.
Okay.
Right? I think we're more than smart enough to know truly when it reaches that point.
I'll semi-agree with you on that one, go on.
Yeah. Now, whether or not something gets done about it at that point is another story. But I think we are smart enough to know that. I think a lot of the stuff about population at the moment is just hyperbole. It's just distraction.
Yeah, I just want to fucking properly describe what I meant, because that's why I was trying to interrupt you there, because when you were going down the thing, I was like, hold on, I think I might have misrepresented myself a little bit by not being overly specific. I think the world can hold an awful lot more billions and billions of people, but due to mismanagement, we're kind of capping ourselves off early, if you get me. So if things keep going the way they're going, and an awful lot of this is down to greed, mainly down to greed, because like Jeff Bezos and even Elon Musk doesn't need all that money, because once again, money represents the amount of resource, and resource can easily be converted into land or whatever the fuck. But that's a different topic for a different day. We are capping our own population of the planet early because of poor poor leadership. I'm gonna say, I feel. So
that I agree with. Yeah,
I think the poor leadership and the bad decisions are are making it feel like there's too many people. And I'm saying if you add another 2 or 4 billion people on top of that with an already poor leadership and mismanaged populations, we're literally going to be at the point of killing each other. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if we already started off but we're already going to end up killing each other like next week or something like that, because the lefties and the righties all called each other horrible things, and then someone took a fucking gun and shot someone else. Then they were like, well, you kind of deserved it, and then they start shooting the other side. This isn't a call to violence, Twitch. Don't ban me. This is just an assumption of what's going on, please.
Observation. I am inclined to agree with the not the entirety of the sentiment, but the concept in practice. The concept. Yeah, just the concept in general. I am inclined to agree with it to a rather large extent. My issue with the statement comes down to, would population growth on its own be enough to cause the issue you're bringing up? I don't think so.
No, I think it would be.
You would have to continue the same level of strain, which, if that was the case, sure, yeah. But I think a lot of other factors come into play, and if you start to eliminate those factors, then size doesn't become an issue. At least not right now.
Oh yeah, but I don't think they're going to eliminate the issue. I think the population, especially as the more science kind of evolves, the more it can combat some of the issues of population management. Okay, like even at that, we're able to output a stupid amount of food from like the same plot of land that we were using from medieval times. Like, but the problem is that shit's not really being used properly. Do you follow? Like
some places, yeah. In some places it is, in some places it isn't.
Like, we have people screaming abuse saying a vegan diet's great, just use soy instead of everything else. But did you ever see how much soy takes up of a farm field? It takes up way more than what cattle actually do. Now, I will say cattle do actually produce methane, but the environment already has means of dealing with that shit, as far as I recall.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm staunchly against the current concepts behind green energy of using things like wind farms, because the sheer level of damage done to create a wind farm and the sheer level of earth used up by creating those air farms it's not worth the energy gain you get from it. It never has been and never will be. It's not. You never regain back the energy spent, and actually the fuel spent as well is always greater than the output you get from it in its total lifespan.
Sorry, give me a second. I have to fucking relog into Restream chat. I don't know why it kicked me out.
Alright, no worries.
Betcha it's something to do with spreading false information. Imagine.
I mean, that's why I'm a bit surprised you're allowing this conversation to continue, because it is a sketchy one.
Well, I'm an arsenate of a streamer, so, you know.
Sure. Yeah, it is kind of a sketchy situation. Sketchy conversation, rather.
I'll just have to look at Restream through this, because it's not loading up.
Art's like banned. Did you report him, you little shit?
Did. These fucking little guys think they know everything. They know nothing. Here, ban them, will you, Twitch? Nice one. That's Art's conversation right there.
He's got Susan Majiscu. Oh wait, Susan Majiscu is fucking YouTube, isn't she?
I am also on that though.
True. Who is it that runs Twitch? It's not Bezos, is it?
No, it's Susan. Twitch. Oh wait, you say Twitch or
Twitch.
YouTube?
Twitch.
Bezos owns it.
Yeah.
There we go. Now I'm back in. That was just one of those moments where Restream was like, "I'm logging you out now, motherfucker," and I'm like, "But why?"
But as long as you back in when we change the subject, think about that.
True. Let's keep bad mounting Bezos. Apparently that's acceptable.
Yeah. Little shit. No, I probably shouldn't badmouth him actually, because that could actually lead to legal stuff.
Well, realistically, calling someone a shit isn't really, like, slandering them in any way. That's your own personal opinion. Now, if you were to turn around and make up a total lie, fucking emphasizing total lie, and say Bezos sucks the blood of children to retain his bald-headedness, then you could get banned. But once again, that's a total lie, you know?
Why do I get the feeling you would have put air quotes on that if your hands were free?
No, don't say that, otherwise they'll use that as an argument in court to say I was serious.
Yeah. No, fucking. I don't even know where we were.
Just delete the vlogs. Yeah, I do that if something happens. I remember I made a joke about doing a particular action in a supermarket just before logging out. And then it happened that same weekend. So, yeah, Restream's kind of fucked. Right now, it's not even military base CP. I think I know where that is. Allroad Gates. Allroad Gates. Where's that?
See, I'll give Musk credit because unlike Bezos is just hoarding his wealth, right? Bezos is just hoarding wealth, which is the worst way you can do things in life.
Fuck you,
Whereas,
Bezos stinker.
at least with Musk, like he's not exactly like a fucking saint, but at least with Musk, he's actually doing shit. You know what I mean? He's creating electric vehicles. He's creating, stuff to better people. You know what I mean? He's putting his time behind. Like, what's Bezos putting his time behind? He's putting his time behind as much, almost toxic environments as he can create. You know, he's backing people who run Twitter. He's backing people who run YouTube. He's backing people who run Twitch. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the people on Twitch are naturally toxic, but the social media in general is generally quite heavily toxic because everyone gets to throw in their voices without having to bother thinking about anything they say.
I think the problem is when people start favoring other people's voices with regard to that. So I'm kind of hoping that whole Elon Twitter thing will just like put it as in, oh cool, now we have psychopaths from both the right or the left, but at least it's balanced. And now I have stuff to look at because there's nothing more I love looking at than a flame war. That's what I'm gonna call it. People will probably make it much bigger than that. Be like, no, this is about fucking people's rights. And I'm like, no, it's a flame war.
Yeah, bingo. Like, art just now that there, like, that's one of the biggest accomplishments he's made, which is pretty fucking huge in the space world of landing rockets. Like, that's never been done before. He done that. You know.
No, he didn't. He paid people to do it. I'm not pulling this whole fucking Steve Jobs shit of giving him all the credit.
That's the thing. That's the thing that makes Musk so unique. He is capable of doing.
Oh, sorry. I don't know why I thought we were talking about Bezos and I thought you were talking about his cock-shaped rocket.
No. That thing was a fucking disgrace.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, you're right. And he also done
Elon.
Yeah. He also he essentially started doing missions for NASA quite effectively with his own money because the American government have been cutting funds to NASA, funny enough. So he's kind of been somewhat.
They have been basically
necessary.
Since the end of the space race. Yeah, they've been doing it since the end of the space race.
He's a cheap
they've been grounding actual
knockoff
emissions.
of pseudo-ding. Yeah, Swift Bezos. Trying to do the same. He was the laziest cunt about it as well. He literally had people design his rocket, and then he just sat there and then wanted to get called astronaut. And then NASA really quickly changed what it means to be an astronaut. Which was fucking hilarious, by the way.
The guy's kind of a living joke, which is hilarious given his sheer wealth.
Well, yeah, the problem I have with wealthy cunts is an awful lot of them don't work anymore. They're not really that useful. Like, I get it. I get you can earn your own wealth, but there's a point where you're just being too much of a fucking greedy cunt, you know?
Yeah. And even then, like, he obviously, just like any other wealthy individual,
I'm gonna say, I don't think he's evil. Okay? I think he doesn't care an awful lot at the time, because I think people associate...
He's definitely vile. I'd put him in the vile category.
Yeah. But he's not a good person, is what I was gonna say.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it was painful to watch. It was.
Yeah, like, don't know what I was getting at there. Fuck.
Sorry, distractions. Also, I heard someone and I started freaking out a little bit. We were talking about essentially money not making you evil, but you were saying something else. I was essentially pointing at it doesn't make you a good person. That all depends on how you spend it, which I don't necessarily. Go on.
Yeah, I was following it up by saying that just like anyone else, Musk included, he does donate money, but he doesn't do it for the sake of the donation. You know what I mean? And he tends to donate into things that his friends are invested in as well. He's been caught doing that. And it is sort of a version of what do you call it? It's almost fraud. Almost fraud. But the thing is he gets massive tax breaks for doing that. So he ends up in the long run making more money than he's giving away. So he's not doing it for the good of whatever he's donating to. He's doing it for the good of making sure that his money continues to grow. It's quite disgusting behavior. You see that out of celebrities as well. Celebrities love doing that. They love doing charity stuff because it makes them look good, but they're actually making more money than they're losing. Yeah. I hate it. It's disgusting.
But we're raising awareness. Yeah, sure you are, pal. You keep saying that.
Damn. Seriously? 50? What?
What's wrong?
So he says some TV show once tried to get Bill Gates to guess prices for
that one, yeah.
product. Yeah, these people think cornflakes cost €15. They're completely detached. Yeah, they fucking are.
Yeah, it's the same with politicians. Politicians are fucking completely detached from reality.
Yeah, and even in that sense, like this is where I hate the fact that, like even like the opposite side, the less frantically crazy side of politics, which is what I would consider to be the right side of politics, even they fall down this category of getting too attached to someone like Musk, because Musk is just as attached as they are. You know what I mean? He's in such a world of his own because of how wealthy he is.
Fucking lost this one cause of time. I spawned in with like 10 minutes and got distracted talking, and now I can't make it over this fucking fence.
Sorry, man.
It's not even that. It's just fucking. They need to like do 20 minutes per scav run, not fucking 10. They should never go to 10, cause you have to run to the other side of the map.
Pretty short period of time. But yeah, like even Musk is quite detached because of his position. So it's not right, in my opinion, to treat him like some sort of messiah for the other political side, because it doesn't make any sense. He doesn't think like you do either. Sure, he's doing better things, but that's no reason to try and push him.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily think the quote-unquote elites, not the politicians now, because I don't consider our politicians elites, but I think it's fine for them to be somewhat detached. As a matter of fact, the more detached they are, as nefarious as this sounds, okay, as nefarious as this sounds, it means you can scam the money off them by selling them €15 boxes of cornflakes and buying more boxes of cornflakes to sell them.
It sounds good in theory, but
the problem when you have your leadership detached from the local population, because they're making decisions for the population. I think like Bezos, Elon Musk can be as detached as they want to a certain point. Like for example, with the whole hey Fabi. Yeah, I think they could be as detached as they want. I think the danger is when you have your own politicians that are detached, because at the end of the day they're to represent the people, and if they make poor decisions, thousands if not hundreds of thousands of people could die depending on the decision they make, you know.
Sure, yeah. Well, I mean, I get why. Yeah, I get
just
why you
quick
would
before you do there. Nah, Fabi, I don't know where Board is. He hasn't been in all day.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to get at, and from like an emotional standpoint, I would agree with you. And I think it's just a miscommunication of what I mean by attached.
Detached, you mean?
Well, attached or detached, either or. They don't have to be like. When was your last time he was on? I think, but he didn't even stay long, which is the time you were on as well.
Yeah, you came in shortly after him, so he hasn't been on in ages, man. Sorry. Your best bet is to annoy him on Discord and see if he gets to you. Is he online on Discord, I wonder?
He wasn't when I last checked.
Let me see. Where is Jinx?
Yeah, I think it's better for...
Yeah, he's not online.
It basically, detachment is the concept that they don't understand our positions. Oh, he's a hospital, okay.
He's
Yeah,
at
they don't
hospital.
understand.
Yeah, he did have surgery, I think, recently. Ho is your friend in Discord. This is Brutal Carnifex. He's one of my mods.
All banners attached, but you don't know. So free. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna go down the autistic trail because that's a whole other kind of worms for starters, but it's also heavily used as an excuse for a lot of things.
Yeah, didn't he say the last time he was in? Sorry to cut you off. Yeah, Fabi, the last time he was in, I think he mentioned he had to get some. What's the surgery? I don't know. I think it was something to do with the hospital anyway, and there was something up with him that he needed to get fixed, essentially. So I don't know. Your mod talk too much. No, he doesn't. Shut your fucking face, Fabi. Sorry, continue on with your thing.
Hey, if we have a topic, I have no problem putting my 2 cents in it.
2 cents. You don't have 2 cents. You're a poor cunt.
I'll have you know I have 450 quid on me right now. Fuck you.
All right, you timed that with Fabi. What, you're working with Fabi now? After me
Yeah.
defending you?
Come on, Fabi, let's turn on him. Anyway.
I hate this boat.
Shit, what was I
Oh,
saying?
he's not known for his unrelenting empathy, not at all. Yeah, go on.
That's actually one of the things I like about him, though. That's the thing. That's one of the things I like about Musk is that he doesn't sugarcoat. And I think that's a good thing. I don't think he should sugarcoat with people.
Well, not sugarcoating
jackass.
something versus not being empathetic is different. Like, the only thing I'll say is there's a bit too much empathy going right now to the point where people are just enabling bad behaviors, in my opinion. So,
Absolutely agree with that.
your friend talked too fast. Maybe you don't listen quick enough.
He has to wait for his brain cells to catch up. It's grand.
Fabi's gonna knock at your house and burn it down, man.
Probably. Well, I mean, Art has no problem keeping up with what I'm saying, so.
True. Well, his name is, we call him Art. He's artistic. Which can easily be turned to what he actually is. Which is something similar to Musk. He's not actually, I'm just making that up.
Has Art built a rocket?
POV.
Who do you think built the penis rocket?
Yeah, he was like one of the lead things. He's fucking Bezos' best mate.
Yeah.
Artism.
It's like when you get an autistic person and make them artistic.
I love the South Park's thing where fucking... Oh, vaccinations can make you artistic. And then at the end of it, Carmen's mom takes the vaccination for him. And she ends up starting to enjoy painting.
Okay.
I love South Park, right?
Yeah, you gotta love South Park. Fucking hell. I'm honestly actually.
I was also like, what? Fabi.
Wait, what?
Well, just see what Fabi typed in chat. Just literally fucking hit the keyboard with his face.
Oh, I think it was just referencing the fact that he couldn't keep up with my talking too fast.
Alright. See, I'm dumb, so thank God you're here, Alan.
Maybe I should stop talking too much. You know, stop helping.
No. Keep doing it. If it annoys Fabi, I'm happy with it.
Alright, grand. There's that shit again where it's like, okay, I need to talk more. And then my fucking head goes, like, my brain just
You don't
goes
need to do
dead.
shit, just have fucking fun and chat, motherfucker.
I know, it just drives me crazy. Oh. I'll blame it on Fabi. It's easier.
Sure, you blame it on Fabi. Don't take self-responsibility, okay? Fucking lefty.
Oh, fuck that. No, I normally would, but Fabi's here, so I can blame him.
Okay. Don't take it personally, Fabi. He blames everyone for his own shortcomings.
Not everyone, just special people. It actually sounded more insulting than I wanted it to be. I didn't mean special in that sense, so. Here's a random thing, actually. I've started watching...
One second.
Oh, sorry.
2 of them! There was 2 of them! Sorry.
Are they still there, are they?
What?
Are they still there?
I killed one of them, but his mate came around the corner.
Ah.
2 fucking bears, man.
Like ahead of the actual stream.
Yeah, we are. I'm gonna go top up my coffee. Continue what you were saying, Alan. Come on, everybody's listening to you now.
I don't remember
All
what I was
6 of my viewers.
I have no idea what it was I was saying.
That's what you get. I'm starting to think you're artistic.
No, he's not. He's artism.
Artismo. Well, I still have some stuff I can use. Actually, let's go out with an SKS and see if we can pop people's heads. I do also have the extra Tarzan, so I can carry extra stuff in that. And I have this stupid little duffel bag. I also have Triton. I'll use the Tarzan. Oh yeah, you're all stuff I can sell. You can go.
I'm gonna PM King and see what the hell's going on.
Why'd you miss him? He's my little honey boo boo.
Wow.
What?
That fucking escalated. Hang on.
Oh, here's Shane. Guest appearance on stream, I guess.
I'm famous.
How are you famous?
12,500 views.
On what?
TikTok.
Of course.
What's the story, Shane?
Alan says, what's the story?
What's happening, man? You alright?
He says, what's happening, man? You alright? You could probably already hear him.
Yeah, I'm doing alright. How's things with yourself?
He's doing alright. How's things with yourself? Come here, come here, come here. Come here. There you go. I'm not fucking being your middleman. And plus, I'm going to make some coffee. Also, there's chat. If someone says something, you can say hello to them. He's not very intellect, so...
Story, right?
Do you know when a streamer brings their pet on? That's what this is kind of like.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at the camera. Hold on. Oh my god, man, that's like a break.
You fat cunt.
Holy crap.
The fucking noise you made sitting on that.
Boom! The noise of it.
Back inside. Right?
It's right to buy a new chair with all the money you get. Why is playing?
Well, Tony's playing Escape from Tarkov. We're just watching and chatting away.
Oh, happy days, nice one. How you getting on and anyway, how you keeping?
Yeah, doing alright. Yeah, been doing D&D with Tony for a while now. It's actually going really well. So, pretty happy with that.
I know, every time I come up, he's always on it.
He's always talking about it, is he?
Yeah.
That actually makes me feel pretty good then. Means I'm doing something right.
Well, I only come up once in a blue moon, so...
I'm sure you must be like hella busy these days.
Oh, stop. I'm wrecked. Especially with the new house and everything. Still not moved into it, though.
How long have you been in the house and just not properly moved in?
5 months.
Fuck's sake, you lazy shit. Get off your arse, will you? How's things with the family anyway?
Same crap, different day.
Classic Shane. It's like straight out with those answers, like no bullshit. Yeah. Love it. And in the meantime, you have Art and chat saying, no offense, but I honestly think TikTok is for children and pedophiles. Nice.
I wanted to be looking at that, yeah. It's
I
actually...
mean, he's not wrong.
No, he's not. But there's some amount of women on it.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, well, I mean, like, easy money, show off your tits, that kind of thing.
Oh, literally. Oh, the only reason I'm on it is because of my job.
Wait, your job makes you go on TikTok?
They asked me to do it, yeah. Apparently we're getting a load of fucking reviews now with the company.
Oh, that's a bit sketchy.
Oh, actually, there's a lot of people actually booking work in now with the garage. They get work done, like, because obviously I'm a Honda at Noble dealership, but the other day I was working on a Range Rover. I was like, oh, okay.
Right?
I was like, fair enough. Yeah, will you accept us on TikTok, Shane? I was like, why? Oh, a few people are following you that we'd like them to follow us. And I was like, oh, fair enough. We got
yeah. So it's a numbers game basically.
Yeah. But see, I go onto it because I don't look at all the other crap. I just look at all the cars videos. It's actually really good.
Yeah, I mean, like it's the same with YouTube. Like, you know, YouTube has its issues as well. But I mean, if you're looking for certain things, you're looking for certain things, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, you could even say the same thing for Twitch, even though it's a shithole.
I just put up random fucking videos for the laugh, like doing something that a cowboy mechanic could do. I just put up for fun though.
Did you make anything off of it, or?
No. I'm getting offers for ads now, so but I don't understand it. I didn't really read into it.
Do you know what? You're bound to make more money if you are like if you do get like a reasonable following with social media stuff. You're better off just opening up like like Subscribestar or something like that,
Yeah, yeah.
and just have people like donate. But then you have to set up like rewards for them for actually doing it. So it's a whole thing. So it's how far you want to go with it. Which I'm assuming you don't really want to go that far with it.
I'm just in it for the fun and games. That, and I've actually
Yeah.
met about 5 other mechanics so far. Got in touch with me, and then a foreman. I got offered a job through it.
Nice. Well, at least have a backup job now, just in case.
Yes, madness. And Bosch Services over in the United Kingdom got in touch with me as well.
Jeez, you're doing all right for yourself, aren't you? Come a long way from the days of DLO. Remember all that shit?
Oh, stop, yeah.
Fuck,
We already talked about that earlier on, because one of the apprentices in my garage, he done that as well.
fucking hell. That bleeding skill is a disgrace.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm back.
Oh, it's crack. Right. I'm assuming you're fucking off, are you?
You just got called
I'm
a
actually-
pedophile. I read that in chat.
I know, yeah. Yeah, man's jealous.
What, they have 12,000 likes of viewers?
Ah, sure, it's only viewers, man. Who cares about them?
If it makes you feel better, I'm pretty sure it's all the pedophiles looking for you, Shane.
Look at this face. See you after all.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
check
God, yeah, that face
take it easy.
Let's go down and finish these fucking points.
You go down and finish your shit. I did.
They're nice, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Done a good job.
Yeah, this
Do you want
one
me
is
to pat you on
definitely
the arse?
related. No,
Okay,
okay,
okay. Enjoy that. I'm his cousin, by the way, so that technically he's an incestuous bastard.
And your man is right, you're a pedophile.
You're a pedophile. I'm not on TikTok.
No, but you
Look at you fucking luring children.
You slapped him.
Do you have an extra van at your house, you fucking pedo?
Have an ice cream van.
You have an ice cream van? Oh, yeah, definitely. There's going to be a load of taped up kids in the back, is there?
Lollipop.
I love how he's not denying it, he's just laughing at it.
Yeah, with his fucking catchphrase, don't tell your parents, you'll get in trouble. No, he explained himself. He's clear, cleared of charges. Fair enough. Art, let you away with it. Let you away with it. Zuya, hey, what's up, girl?
It's crack.
What was I doing again?
That shit's funny. That shit's funny. Holy fuck.
Which?
Tell you what though, yeah, I have to say, he's doing alright for himself at this point.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good.
I'm
Which I'm
trying
fucking chuffed to hear, because he was having like an awful time a couple of years back because of the general culture with hold on, what's this ammo? The general culture with apprenticeships and mechanics around here. Oh, you're fucking 2 days above the age of 16. Oh, too old. 762.
That's the scenario
What
you
up,
were in
cuties?
not long ago as well.
Sup? No, not much up, Sarah. How about yourself? Any more dramas to be talking about? Because I do generally enjoy chatting drama shit with you. Deal.
Honestly, I'm
is-
pretty worried now because I have a feeling she's going to just start writing paragraph after paragraph.
Yeah, but don't you love chatting?
I do, but drama's a tricky one for me.
Okay, fair enough. Well, it's not like YouTube drama. I think it's personal life drama. Well, not much drama, but funny stories, yes. Go on then, share them with us.
I do like ruining funny stories. I mean, listening to funny stories.
You are a master at ruining everything, including your own life.
Ouch!
Gotcha. Funny interact with guys texting me, huh? How many nudes were you asked for? Is this the any percent speed run? How quick can I talk to a guy online before he asks for nudes? Oh, this goes on this. Sure, you can have it.
I will say that must make
I won't
me a
share
running
chat.
champion.
All right, fair enough.
That must make me a running champion because I have yet to ask for nudes.
Yeah, you also have yet to talk to girls. All right, I'll
And,
stop.
yeah,
I'm going too targeting on you now.
Yeah, that one was rough, dude. That was rough.
Even for your standards.
That was pretty rough. Every man should be free to ruin his own life. Yeah, damn right.
Yeah, this is America
Back
after
up,
all. Bro, I talked to guys not even 24 hours and he's like, oh my god, I want to prove to you that I'm worthy. That was a funny one. Laughed my ass off. He doesn't even know my real name. Oh no, he
Wow.
doesn't know your real name?
Yikes. Don't get me wrong, like I'm a bit questionable around chicks sometimes, but fucking hell, that's a whole other level.
Mm.
That's a
You
whole other level.
you know Zuya's real name, don't you?
I do, yeah.
All right. So you definitely know she's called Concordia, yeah? Parents hate her.
Could you fucking imagine, Jesus Christ?
Being called Concordia, I know, right? If you want to rob a national arsenal with a traffic cone, am I reading that right? If you want to rob a national arsenal with a traffic cone in your naked ass on a heroin, then go a fucking head. Then I will, if I ever feel like that. I think that's the day where I'm done living. But I swear every guy I met recently is 20 to 21. Like, what the fuck? Oh, they look at you like you're the mammy now. How's that feel, Sarah?
I think you missed out on that very vital dash in between 20 and 21 there, Art.
2021, that's super old. What the fuck? Wow, you're going out with fucking elves? Alright, here we go. Let's see how quick I can die this time. I can't believe I ran into two of them.
My money's on
you're in the Roman
6 minutes
Empire. Skulls. 6 minutes in. Okay, thanks for the faith.
Nice.
The benefits and course of the good genes. I
Yeah,
look
I was gonna say,
younger.
it's them Asian genes.
Maybe you should get on TikTok. Apparently Art was saying it's just full of pedophiles. Imagine the living you could make on that, Sarah.
I thought you were talking to me there for a second. I was like, what the fuck are you saying?
Well, pedophiles don't make a living. They just creep. Come on.
Oh yeah, fair.
I'm not even Asian. Haha. True.
I thought you were half Asian. Am I wrong? No, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Flair. Or Blair. Sorry.
Flair's full Asian.
I know there was yeah, don't mind me.
Isn't there someone in that group in the D&D Discord that's half Asian or some shit?
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
the
Zay,
Russian...
Zay.
Oh, it's Zay,
Zay.
right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Thank you. That was kind of driving me fucking nuts.
Oh, you look 1,500 years old or whatever. Nah, she looks 10. Like a well-developed 10-year-old, we'll say that.
That's kind of a creepy notion.
What?
The idea of as you put it, a well-developed thing. I'm gonna stop this conversation.
Yeah, you best off stop it, otherwise people will start accusing you of something.
Exactly, yeah. I'm not gonna go there.
I'm gonna fucking rip the piss out of you later on when the TOS can't save you, Alan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm used to it. It's fine.
Better hope no one clips that. Why does that sound like you're clipping it?
He already has, I guarantee you.
He's gonna link it there. Haha, well-developed 10-year-old. Look, I just meant some people hit puberty, get hit by puberty like a fucking truck, right? I was this size at 11. I had to shave for my confirmation.
Oh, God.
Oh, zoom you in with the eyes. Can't be asked to learn how to clip. Well, okay, fair enough. Well, that saves me getting banned, so I don't mind. Then cuts to Sarah. I know how to clip.
You see where the full screen thing is? 2 across from that is the clip option.
I like how you want him to clip it without actually clipping it yourself. Lazy bastard.
Yep. Best way to do something, get someone else to do it for you.
That just makes you sound lazy.
I know.
Oh, is this stair still bugged? Or was it just that one match? Yeah, it was just that one match I was getting teleported back constantly.
Classic fucking Sarah. Saving everything just so she can fucking expose everything in the future.
Yeah. I taught her well. She's my daughter after all.
Little shit.
I taught her all about conserving ammunition and then using it when it's vital later on.
It's alright. She doesn't realize it yet, but we're gonna be bombing her soon.
Why were we bombing her?
I don't know.
I'm not bombing my fucking daughter.
Well, you take this whole...
I already
family
fucking
seriously.
abandoned her. Well, realistically, I only
Alright, so
learned I was her daughter when I met her.
Semi-seriously.
What? Smash the panic button. We're compromised, boys. Plus, also, I'm an arsenate of a streamer. Even if you were to clip it and share with everybody, no one would care. And I'm Irish, so the world loves me for some reason. It's the reason why I'm allowed to say cunt on Twitch and no one can say it, because cunt's kind of a cultural thing over here. Alan will even tell you.
some of the Brits get away with it, we get away with it, and Scots get away with it.
Aussies get away with it as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Aussies when they're not in Australia. Which is fucking ironic as hell. We won't get into that topic though. Oh yeah, look, you see a car, you see a tractor, you go for the van. It says something about you, dude.
Yeah, it says like PC parts. I like how I fucking spawned into a firefight.
Oh yeah, I was missing this chicane actually.
No, go this way, turn around. Now all we have to do is deal with the fucker that's in here. After I've been to Ireland, Irish accent can be cute, though, especially compared to Hollywood mainstream American English.
Yeah, well, almost anything is cute, and, as you put it, Hollywood, Midwestern American. Yeah. It gets old real fast.
Alright, 2 down.
How many do you have to kill in order to, quote-unquote, succeed?
Well, these are players, so you don't really need to succeed with players, you know?
Oh, okay. So you still doing the practice runs, or?
No, this is an actual...
Oh, okay.
Fuck! I killed 2. Oh!
I'm still waiting to see what... Oh, okay.
Yeah, I fucking hit him a few times. I killed a USEC and a bear. So yeah, I killed 2 players, then another player came along.
I have a sneaking suspicion that the only reason he killed you is because you literally jumped into the bullet.
Yeah, that's a reflex from other games. Here's kills, UXC. PMC killed. I killed 2 PMCs. One was USEC, one was bear. The dude who killed me... Let me get... What? Was it a headshot? No, he shot me in the right leg and killed me. Maybe it was a team of 3, I don't know. Feels bad, though. That could have been amazing. I would have killed 3 players. I got some dog tags. Whatever. No equipment, though, which is upsetting. So, we have a scav run. Let's just get the scav out and use that gun. I like Irish. Yeah, that shit makes my skin crawl. Yeah, everywhere there's people who suck, so it all evens out, I can imagine. Notice that when I moved between the Netherlands and Germany. Yeah. Yeah, true. So, like, even when I was growing up, it's not as bad now. It's still a pretty rough area that I live in. But when I was growing up, it was an awful lot more rough. It was just a case of, like, if you walked out of walked out of your house one day and you took a wrong turn, you'd get jumped by a load of lads. And most of them are, like, way older than you. Now, I can talk about, like, when you were 14 or something like that, you'd have 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds kicking the shit out of you if you were unlucky.
Mm-hmm. And if you fought back successfully, you would have their cousins and uncles and so on beating the crap out of you, which was...
sore losing scumbags is what I call them.
Yep. Well, I haven't said that, you know, yeah. I do agree, like, with all the pessimistic conversation from earlier on, sure, there's plenty of people I've met that have been nothing but wonderful people.
Ha, mine is the worst. Keck W from Sarah. Was that me getting myself fucking murdered there, I wonder? I'd imagine it was.
Of course it was.
I think
She revels in your misery.
Everyone revels in my misery. I see how fucking much you act up and you're like, oh, there's people attacking them. Let's go, boys. See how he laughed? He didn't even try to defend that.
I mean, why would I? You know I'm bad at lying, so.
I too live in a very, very bad neighborhood. There was a gunfight 1 street away from the thing. Yeah, there was a drive-by shooting up my road a couple of years back. Dude just got fucking more. It wasn't even. Actually, it was a couple of months ago, and then there was one a couple of years ago. And then you remember in up in Cherry Orchard somewhere, there was an IRA drive-by that happened where the dude got saved because he crawled to the right house. Well, you know what positive thing they do in Germany now? Legalize weed, huh? Well, I guess I know where I'm moving.
I believe they have plans to do that over here, if I'm correct.
Yeah, fucking. Do you know what the problem is? Our boomer fucking government. They don't want to do it because they're fucking. They just don't want to do anything. Like, I'm not saying anything against abortion, okay? Okay? This is nothing to do with abortion. But when I was growing up, abortion was one of the ultimate taboos. Okay? Would you agree with this, Alan?
Sure. Yeah, in the 90s, yeah, definitely.
Okay? Weed was seen as something very, very bad, but it wasn't necessarily seen as a taboo. If you found out to be, having abortions, you would literally become a pariah, if not murdered. Okay?
You'd be absolutely ostracized. Yeah.
You'd be absolutely ostracized. If you seen him as weed, you were like, maybe you shouldn't associate with him too much, you know. Don't accept that from, but they'd still talk to you and shit like that. How come weed's still not legal here, but abortion got legalized? Once again, not saying it shouldn't be, not saying it should be, like the abortion thing, but it's a case of why isn't weed legalized? There's so much shit out there that has more positives to do with it, as well as some of this shit. You go grab your coffee. So, sorry, every time I think about the fact that weed's not legal here, it pisses me off, because they're everywhere starting to legalize it.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time before they do.
Oh, geez, abortions. I'm going to make a coffee, BRB. Yeah.
Yeah, I do kind of share Art's sentiment there because
No, I'm not
as much as
talking
I-
about it. I'm just like stating
yeah.
that was like a big taboo. Like imagine them legalizing sorry, they're all taboos, so they're probably TOS. But essentially, imagine them legalizing like pedophilia and not legalizing weed. Like, is that not bizarre? But Germany is also retarded because they want to put taxes on school homemade cake events. Like, what the fuck? Seriously? So your school makes a school fest and you sell house-made cake there. You need to pay taxes for it. Germany is so lost. What?
Wow.
The
Can't
fuck?
be a thing.
Hold on, let me Google that real quick. I have to fucking see this and see what the actual reasoning was.
No, that can't be a thing. Can you link me something to do with that? Cause holy shit. Like I knew Jeremy was in a bad state, but my God, that's something else. That's a whole other level. Can you DM me something on that, Sarah? This is shit I gotta see. This is shit I gotta see.
So apparently, you get if you make less than 450 in the month, you don't have to pay tax. That's what it says. Well, I can show you in German. Do it. We'll Google translate that shit because, like, part of me's not surprised, but the other part of me's in disbelief. I'm in a weird spot right now. What are the German tax classes? Oh, that's German tax classes. We don't give a fuck about that.
That's insane to me. That's absolutely insane. The world's just gone to shit. I give up. I don't even care anymore. I really don't. Oh.
Let me look if I find something in English. Even if you don't have it in English, you can auto-translate it, you know? Sorry, we can auto-translate it, I should say.
Yeah, it's not the best of
Yeah, but it's enough. Your bullshit free guide to taxes in Germany. Let's start chapter 1. Start working German tax documents. Pensions, 9.3, health insurance, unemployment, nursing care.
Right. So basically, what it is, it's like
Oh, cool.
Tony, you remember that thing we did in fourth year where we would basically did you do a transition year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you remember the business thing that we did where we would have to like make a product and then sell it and then they would have like a parents teacher sort of thing, and then they like come in and look at the products and buy them and stuff. It's like that, but with cakes.
Not all parents can afford a class trip. How about a cake stand? No money for waterproof chairs. Schools and daycare centres, because next year such sales could become subject to sales tax. That's dirty.
Even for government, that's pretty filthy.
They're literally stealing candy from babies.
So yeah, are you still living in Germany?
Yeah, she is.
Get the fuck out, girl. Get the hell out.
Like, that's so ill. That's disgusting.
Get the hell
How
out. That's all I
fucking
can say.
greedy have you got to be stealing candy from children? Like, that's... We were having a discussion about evil earlier on. And I'm just like, that's evil.
How much do you need? Because I will fucking give it to you.
I don't have money to move somewhere. I know, it's upsetting. Everything's so expensive, Saj. Feels bad. Sarah, come over. We'll
Honestly,
cover the costs. There you go.
honestly, I would cover the costs for like you for a rental for a place to stay for a while.
Although when the rebellion happens, you have to join us, Sarah. That's the contract you signed by coming here, yeah.
Yeah.
We're definitely
That's
not
the
human
agreement.
traffickers.
Holy shit! No, that's seriously bad though.
I
Holy
know,
shit.
it's actually so disgusting. Alright, I can even just make it out with this gun and be happy. Military base CB, cool.
Here in the Netherlands, we go to Germany for the cheap stuff. Nice. You're a way of really getting yourself back into those conversations, Art. I like it.
Like, who woke up and thought, okay, I'm gonna steal children's cake money? I know, it's actually vile. Like, don't get, I believed you, but it was one of those things where I was in such disbelief, I had to see it. I know, it's a weird thing because you can't necessarily say you believe someone while being in disbelief, but it's more like they actually went there already. Fucking Christ. Remember, the grass is always greener on the other side. If you move somewhere, there's gonna be ups and downs. Yeah, but I'll say... I said this when you were gone, I think, but we were talking about evil, but they're actually doing the, like, the hallmark evil villain thing of stealing fucking the food out of kids' mouths. Taxing a bake sale. The bake sales are supposed to help out families who can't necessarily afford the cost. That's what's saying in this article. Who can't necessarily afford the cost to have their kids go on on school trips. Like, why?
I'm not gonna lie, right, Sarah? I'm gonna tell you this straight out, right? If you came over here as for the sake of it, say an immigrant, right? You could absolutely get training in how to go through the system the correct way to get into the country pretty damn quickly, and you would be you would be at the top of the line to get social benefits that would actually allow you to be able to...
If Sarah wanted to come in here, all she had to do was go there and just pick some stupidly cheap college course to do. Like one of the ones that doesn't lead to anything. You know, it's like €200 or something like that. And then she can get citizenship because as long as she's into college.
One of the social studies courses.
Yeah, or like, say, for example, games design. Something stupid.
I'm not even... Here's the thing, like, I usually, like, I've made jokes about this with Sarah before, but I'm not even joking right now, because that's pretty... Like, a government that far gone, that's bad. That is really fucking bad.
Imagine me growing up doing me little paper route. I actually did a paper route when I was growing up. For those of you who are unaware. Imagine the government coming and taking my £2 a day. Yes, I'm old. Pounds is what I used when I was doing it. My £2 a day and taking like 20% off it.
You absolutely should. I absolutely think you should, because holy shit.
Look, sir, as a CEU citizen, you come over here visa free for 3 months. If you want to become a student over here, you sign up for the college. When you sign up for the college, Ireland won't kick you out.
Yep.
Ireland will say you can stay here for the duration. Then after 4 years, you can claim citizenship, so that way you can be a dual citizen and just live in either. Should Germany ever take the fucking thing out.
Most courses have some sort of degree that come with it, and the degree itself is 2 years. So it's normally first year introduction, 2 years degree, and then you can go on from that. And if you go on for another year, boom, citizenship.
My German education isn't good enough to apply though. No, yeah, we have a thing called a mature student. If you're over the age of 21, test results that you did in school don't matter.
I can tell you this, there's plenty of part-time jobs you can get as well to supplement it. Like, I'm actually being honest. I do think it is absolutely possible for you if you put the time and effort into to doing it. You absolutely could. It's about primarily engaging enough to go through all that effort. It is a fair bit of effort. It's not like it's going to be like, you know, one and done. You will have to do a lot of effort to research it and make sure that it's all effectively done correctly. But yeah, it is possible. Absolutely.
Stack up money a bit. Like, I was going over the costs with you before, sir, of like even moving your stuff, and it wasn't that expensive. The most expensive thing about being here would be finding a gaff to live in. But like, if you put time and effort, you can actually, like, if you move outside of Dublin, you can get way better rates. Now, they're still pretty expensive, so you'd probably still need a part-time job. But the money over here, if you do have a job, is actually really good. And as I said, there's college courses out there where it's like €200 a year. Now, they lead to nothing. They're garbage, but it's enough to keep people off your back, and you can probably end up getting one that lasts 4 years, so you just get your citizenship at the end of it anyway. And all you have to do is the bare minimum of passing, if you get me, you know? I mean, I can't drive. True, so then just move somewhere near a train station. Train station take you immediately in.
Yeah. There's also the Lewis line.
Yeah.
Or if worse comes to worse, you can just take the bus.
Well, if she's outside of Dublin, then she'll need a bus or a train if she wants to come inside of Dublin.
True, yeah. I mean, the train goes through. There's a train that goes right through Trim, isn't there? Trim, even.
Yeah, there's our train stops off at each county,
Yeah.
and then from each county you can just grab a bus.
I think, from what I recall, now this is quite a few months ago, so I don't know if it might change, but I know the prices were shifting in Kildare recently.
We might have a collapse in rent and housing prices next year, to maybe the year after, like a big collapse.
That'd be nice for us actually, because we're actually struggling a bit with rent right now.
Yeah, well, that depends, because I think there's something up with rent where they don't have to up or down the prices. They can only up or down the prices by a certain amount, based off the original
No, but
price.
they've been doing that with us incrementally, that's the thing. Over the last few years, it's been slowly kind
Oh,
of
I
climbing.
found a gun, boys.
Don't die. But yeah, they've been slowly sort of building that up incrementally on us, which is really fucking irritating.
All right, I have to
Honestly, at this
fucking-
point, I hate living in a main city.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting that way. I miss when Dublin was Dublin. With all these changes, it feels nothing like Dublin anymore. You're better off moving outside the county and just using the nightlife in the other one. It's more Irish. And now, that might sound very anti-immigration to some people, but personally, it's just like, the Irish culture's great for when you're out and drinking. Very few bad things will happen to you. If you get me. Compared to
depending on
other
the groups you
countries.
associate with, of course.
Yeah. I still can't believe Germany wants to steal candy from children.
Yeah, I'm still sort of reeling from that one.
Oh, yeah.
It's a hard one to come back to the conversation from. Oof.
Oh, cool. New guns. 2 new guns, Alan, I have. And this one's brand fucking new.
I wouldn't mind. I was actually meant to go to sleep like an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, then you had fun.
I'm actually worryingly wide awake now.
Worryingly. Oh, Jesus, calm down.
Well, it's the fact that I've been up for around 18 hours now. If you don't
Ah,
count
come
the 2
on.
hours.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You're a lad. You can stay up later. I'm
But
just...
that's not what I'm concerned. No, I'm not concerned about the time being awake. That doesn't bother me because I've been awake longer than that. It's more a case of the fact that tomorrow I still have got that work to do. So, you know, I want to make sure I'm,
Yeah, but here's the thing,
capable of
right?
doing it. essentially.
Here's the thing, though, right? The fact that you're staying up to, what you call it, this quote-unquote late, it means when you go to sleep, you'll probably wake up at like 7 or 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning, which is already kind of better than what you're currently doing. Do you get me?
Yeah, I'm assuming I don't just sleep in like crazy.
Yeah, but you're less likely to sleep in, is what I'm trying to say.
No, I'm more likely because of how long I've been awake.
Yeah, but less likely to sleep in for so long. Well, less
Really?
likely to wake up at a time in which, say, for example, I'm going to sleep. Oh, this is sell shit right here.
I see what you mean. Yeah, but that's actually the issue I have with it because of the fact that Oh well, I mean, our summers can get bad sometimes, but yeah,
No,
they're not
no,
as bad as
Alan.
most countries.
They're bad
Yeah.
for us. For Sarah,
Right, yeah,
they'll be
absolutely.
heaven, right? Sarah's
That's true,
currently
yeah.
been living between 30 to 40 degrees.
Oh,
Today,
right, yeah.
I was like,
Well,
oh god, it's kind of hot, and I was sitting here with a cool 16.
Jesus, our winters would probably kill her then.
Not really. I think fucking, like, do you know what's worse about the heat than the cold? With the heat, okay, all you gotta do, with the heat, all you can do is try sit in shade, drink a lot of water, and thing, and even what you call it, wear light clothing. But even at that, sometimes you're just gonna unavoidably sweat. When you're cold, all you need is a fucking blanket. Legit 33 degrees, 36 last week, 3 days in a row. Yeah, so as you can see, like, Ireland and England and the northern Spain all have this thing where our weather's all kind of similar and it's all kind of like mid-range. But you go over to like Germany, or you go over to Arthur's home region, and you'll just find that it's a case of oh fuck, I'm melting. It's like fucking, oh my god, I remember Madrid during the hottest days. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky when I went to Lanzarote, because they had there was sandstorms coming in from, like, we were over there for 2 weeks, and the entire time we were over there, it was a sandstorm in, I believe it was like Sahara or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And what would happen was basically the sand would be brushed out towards the ocean, and it would blanket the area around the islands.
Okay.
So basically, the sun would still be beaming down on you, and if you're not wearing protection, you would get burned to a crisp. Which one of the people who actually went with us learned the hard way. But the heat wasn't so bad, so it still felt like super humid and shit. But like it wasn't so stifling that you were dying,
Mm-hmm.
So like we got pretty lucky with that, because usually it's pretty fucking bad over
The
there.
most frustrating thing about Ireland is the rain.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying.
Now, unfortunately for me, I actually like the rain, and the wind is actually a bastard. But it's not like fucking hurricane levels of thing. But because Irish aren't used to like the more extreme weathers, you find Irish people dying of the dumbest shit.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, that's true.
so we don't even get that much snow. It's like once every 2 or 3 years. Nah, the rain is lovely. What are yous on about? You acknowledge that the rain is there though.
It's the frequency with it. That's what it is, Crisp. Also, hello.
How's that so doing? But yeah, that's the thing. So Irish people just aren't used to the more extreme weathers. So when something moderately extreme happens, like snow, you'll find Irish people dying of the dumbest shit. Like there was one dude who was reported dying because he decided, after snow, when the sleet turned to ice, he decided to hop on his ladder with his chainsaw, and the ladder, of course, slipped. Now he wanted to try trim a fucking tree branch. And he fell, and then he got chainsawed to death by his own chainsaw. That's the type of dumb shit you hear about people dying in Ireland as a result of weather-related shit. You never see anything like, this hurricane picked up this car, threw that one person that went over to this lad, and then gave him a suplex. You never hear that shit in Ireland. You just hear the stupid shit.
Final Destination. Yeah, Final Destination. No, I like what Art said there, because he's like, when I went to Ireland one day, the weather report literally said, it could be sun, could be rain, we don't know. Deal with it.
Yeah, I was saying to Alan earlier on, we were out, we were out because I went up to a shop. It was literally like, if our weather was a person, it would be given medication from a therapist because it's so fucking bipolar. It's like today, it was sun, rain, cloudy, rain, sun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember in the car. It's like, it wouldn't make up its fucking mind. Like,
Yeah.
I'm actually, it's getting to a point now where I've gone beyond something as simple as what you mentioned there, and gone just like full blown schizophrenic. It's got so many personalities all at once. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I think there was one point to snow during summer. Do you remember that? It was like 4 years back. It just randomly started snowing, and we're like, yeah, deadly snow.
And what was really weird was how warm it was.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
Yeah, it was cold for like 20 minutes, and then it went hot again. Then the snow melted, and we're like, back to this fucking mess. And then it's sunny for an entire day, and you come the midgets, so you gotta go inside for 2 hours during the day. Ireland is just special. Yes, it is very special.
Yeah.
I know you probably meant that in a more derogatory term, but I'm still agreeing with it either way.
I mean, it's true in both senses, let's be fair.
Yeah. What was that thing when I didn't have something nice to say about a certain someone? I was like, she's unique. Oh, fuck!
Yeah.
There's the scav boss.
Just opening up with it right beside you. Very nice.
You know the scav boss.
That's the fella with the hammer.
Yeah. He one-shot me. I did 672 damage to him. How much health does this cunt have? I meant the midges, the billions. Yeah, the little tiny fucking things. I used to have loads of them in my room when I was younger, because I don't like the heat at all. So as soon as it got hot, I'd leave the window open. They'd fly in and bury on the thing. Here's a funny, interesting story. I tried to get out school once by getting a load of midgets, sleeping midgets, because they cling to walls during the daytime when they're tired. I put them in my head and told them I had fleas.
Oh my god.
When I was like, I want to say 8. I was trying really hard to not go to school.
That's so quintessential Tony. Holy shit.
I have
That's
midgets.
something only you would think of doing.
There was another thing I done to try to get out of school. Didn't work again. I got a load of soup, let it cool down. I kept it in my mouth. I didn't even need to keep it in my mouth, but in my head it was like, no, there's something about it if it comes out. And I just spit it out on the floor and said, I got sick. My mom just looked at it and was like, that's vegetable soup. Get to fucking school now. Clatter me across the head like. I hated school when I was a kid.
Yeah, I don't think there's many people that fucking did, to be fair.
I was a fucking stupid kid. The amount of stupid shit I done. I told you about the whole panda bear thing, didn't I?
It sounds vaguely familiar.
Well, essentially what I done was... Well, not what I done. This was down to me brother, God rest his soul. When I was really young, I used to just, like, as soon as 9 o'clock hit, I used to just pass out. This is in the car, on the couch. Doesn't matter, I'd pass out as soon as 9 o'clock came. But I always wake up in my bed because I was a heavy sleeper as a kid. Still am somewhat of a heavy sleeper.
Yeah, I remember this.
And then my brother, I would ask my brother, I was like, how come I always wake up in my bed when I fall asleep outside my bed? And he was like, oh, two pandas come in, pick you up, and then bring you to bed. And then I was traumatized from that because in my little tiny baby brain, I was like, wait, are you telling me bears sneak in and no one sees them? And from that point onwards, I was terrified of going to sleep.
Yeah. I mean, how do you even respond to that? Yeah.
Oh, it's just me being a stupid kid. I done loads of stupid shit as a kid. Me brother, well, most of it's down to me brother, to be honest, because he fucking hated me and wanted me to suffer.
Yeah, he was pretty mean to you, actually.
Yeah, there was like 2 occasions where he tried to trick me into falling down the stairs. It was like the dumbest shit ever.
Hear about that one. What the fuck?
Well, both of them were, well, one of them was I had a sleeping bag that I loved. For some reason, as a kid, I think it's a common thing with little boys where they like small confined spaces to hide in. And a sleeping bag was like it was like a fucking
confined space.
Yeah, because you could move it wherever you wanted. So you could put your little confined space inside another confined space to make your confined space more confined, you know?
Sure.
But one of the times he was like, hop in that bag there. And he was like, alright, I'll hop in the bag. Then my fucking brother grabs the bag and starts pulling it towards the stairs. I feel the little bump at the door there. It used to have a little bump there, like a little ramp sort of thing. I felt that. And then I just instantly started screaming because I knew he was going to throw me down the stairs. So thankfully my ma ran up the stairs and just like fucking slapped the shit out of both of us for some reason, but whatever. And then the other time was, he walked in the room and he was like, Tony, I fell down the stairs, now it's your turn. And then I was going to do it, but I got scared. I was a dumb kid. Like when I was in me single digits, I was brain dead. So smart, actually. That's referring to the midgets, yeah.
To be fair, that is pretty funny, actually.
What, putting the midgets in me hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is, Irish mammies know more about midgets than you do.
Yeah, that's true.
Not small people, the actual insect twitch. Come on, stop it. Right now, there's some Twitch mod freaking the fuck out. Did this cis male just say something about the half people? Did you just call them half people? That was very that was not very nice. But yeah, that was that, like, as I said, so much stupid shit my brother fucking done. There was super shit I done. I was one time he did bad. Dad took me to his mate's house, gaff. in I forget whereabouts it was. It was somewhere, what you call it? It was somewhere on the west side of Ireland, and he had a load of gnomes, and gnomes freaked me out as a kid. I thought they were evil.
Statues kind of thing.
Yeah, you know the little not garden gnomes.
Garden gnomes.
Yeah, they're made of they're more like pottery shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
porcelain.
I went out his back and seen a fuckload of gnomes. Freaked the fuck out. Started running and hiding until I found his shed, and then I found a hammer just laying about, and I smashed up all his gnomes.
Dude, that's actually kind of nuts.
I was scared. Then my dad came out, and I was there holding the hammer. I'm dead. That's what I get for talking. I was there holding the fucking hammer. And my dad's like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I did. I killed the gnomes. Fucking slapped the shit out of me. Fucking profusely apologizing to his mate. Me having to profusely apologize, even though like tears coming out of my eyes, snot rolling down my nose. I was just like, I'm sorry, but they were going to kill me. Same with porcelain dolls. They freaked me out.
Oh no, not to be fair, the porcelain dolls I completely understand. Yeah. They why are they designed so inhumanly? It's so weird. I don't like it.
It's because they kind of get to that point. What's the thing called again? The line where something's too real, or you know, it's a line where something's approaching the realistic thing, but it's not real enough, so it just looks like a working corpse. I forget what it's called.
I know the thing you're referring to. Yeah.
It's a golden line thing, anyway. The further away from something, the further away from something being alive, like in terms of artistic style, the more the more likely it is to be liked by people. Up until a certain point where if it gets too real but not realistic enough, it just kind of gives you creepy vibes. So that's why they describe.
So I get it. If they were going for something abstract, I'd get it. But that's the thing. It's not. It's somewhere in between abstract and realistic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that creepy in between, which ugh. Yeah, there's very few things that actually make me like genuinely shiver.
I also smashed up one of my man's porcelain dolls when I was younger because it kept giving me nightmares. I didn't get the second one. I think my man gave the second one away before I could smash her up.
To be fair, no, that's something I support. Like, the gnomes were innocent.
Me and Shane, Shane is the name of the guy who was on stream here earlier on. We literally went on a big rant about how he should break up with his missus if she ever brought a porcelain doll into their house.
I'm right.
Oh, but they're so cute. No, they're not. They're the devil. Stop it.
Yeah,
when have you ever heard a pleasant story? Jesus Christ. I just turned around and he was there. I think he spawned there. Oh my god.
There's very few things that I would...
I'm not getting any practice. I'm going to stand until they spawn. Sorry, go on.
There's very few things I would legitimately throw out of my house. Porcelain dolls is one of them.
Thought I was playing a first-person shooter, not a fucking horror game.
Like when I was a kid, my mom had a couple of them, and I legitimately told her to get rid of them.
Yeah, I used to stay in Kildare. I used to stay at a mate's house in the guest room, and she had a porcelain doll in the guest room. So I never slept when I went down there. I used to sleep on the couch the next morning. Maybe that's where my bad sleeping habit came from, actually.
I'm sure there's more that actually contributed to that, but maybe I had a...
I think it sent me down a bad path, man.
might have.
I was always afraid of asteroid strikes and then Bermuda Triangle and such when I was a kid. Yeah, when you're a kid, you can get freaked out by an awful lot of stuff, and I'll be honest, I missed that.
Yeah, a little bit.
There was more magic to the world when, when you were so gullible, you'd believe like stuff like, for example, porcelain dolls could move. Or like the Bermuda Triangle's going to get you as soon as you step foot in. There's going to be a demon that takes you, or some Cthulhu-like monster. Right, this time, Alan, for a proper warm-up, I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to just wait for all the scabs to spawn, then I'm going to move out. Because that dude actually made me jump.
Like stuff like Bermuda Triangle and stuff like that never really freaked me out. Like I'd always heard the stories, obviously, but no, my biggest like creep out factor of like I don't want to hear or listen to this or whatever or experience this in any fashion or way, for me was Declan's dad, who we used to live with. He got great pleasure out of tormenting me with the old school recording of War of the Wolves. And there was specific songs in it that had specific sounds that I just absolutely hated. And I would go so far as to like leave the house, and we had a park across the road from the house that I would go to, and we would go into the park, go past the first hill, go all the way down the back end of the park to the second hill, which is basically in the center of this park. He would blare the radio so loud. He had this home stereo system, like it's an old school 90s one. So like this thing had a serious cranking volume. We would be in the center of the park, and when the song came on that he knew I hated, he would blare it at full volume, and I could hear it from the center of the park.
Yeah, parents can be absolute fucking assholes by freaking out their kids.
Oh, he got so much. There was that, and there was whenever they had this thing they used to do. I don't know if they still do it, but it was an annual thing where it was a Michael Jackson celebratory thing, and all the music stations on TV would play nothing but Michael Jackson songs. He would skip through the stations, the music stations, because he knew I hated the video.
Which video was it?
Yeah, there's on the Thriller, the one with the zombies dancing.
Oh yeah, yeah, that kind of freaked me out as a kid as well. Sorry, I have to.
That's it. Oh my God, Art, you're spot on. The ooh la thing. That's it. Oh no, I can listen to it now. I actually love that song now. But as a kid, holy fuck. Man, no, you've nailed the exact song. That's actually quite impressive. Yeah, that scared the shit out of me as a kid. Oh, imagine being in a park, say, I don't know, maybe 45, 50 meters away from your house, and that sound that both of us hated at that point, that sound would start blaring from your house.
Also, Art, with something you said earlier on, I actually think the reason I enjoy it so much is, like, apart from the little jumps I'm doing now, I don't really get freaked out by too much, but I kind of miss stuff having that much power over you as your little fucking kid head. You know, I know but some people say it's awful. I know some people who said, no, I don't miss being afraid of stuff. I do. Fucking die, you bastard.
I would actually recommend Art listening to it again, because the music from that recording is very, very good. Very, very good.
Fucking restream, man. There we go, it's back.
Shagging?
Yeah, I just noticed it there when I was popping out to see those guys. I was like, oh, it logged me out again. Well, I'm almost done streaming. It's only like another 20 minutes. I'll stay on, then I have to get ready for bed because I'm a functional adult now and I have to go to work tomorrow. One more warm-up. And then we'll do an actual last raid.
You keep saying one more.
Look, I get to practice with me little AK. Have you seen the recoil on this thing? I'm gonna have to get used to that shit.
I'm just pointing this stuff out. I'm not judging.
But I've got Corona at the minute, so I don't think I'm just gonna scream at people in Foxhole. You do that. Actually, put on that song while you do it, so that way they can properly hear you scream.
Oh my God, yeah. That song blaring over your mic as you're running at them, that would scare the shit out of them, actually. Just have that one part on loop. I think I just found a scare tactic that will succeed in every game in the future.
Yeah, but I just also missed you like a stupid innocent you had as a kid when you were doing shit. You thought you were making sense sometimes, but they just looked at you like you were adorable because you were actually speaking nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
I remember being
when you said something stupid, they would laugh rather than judge you.
Yeah, or they'd be like, yeah, you do that. You know, like, this kid has no idea how the world works. It's like when I was 7, it was like, oh, when I grow up, I'm going to open a shop. I'm going to have a free day where everybody can just have stuff for free.
Oh, okay. Good night, Art.
Yeah, you have a good one, pal. Cheers for showing up. It was interesting chatting to you, lad.
Yeah,
Hope you had fun.
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was entertaining. Yeah. Actually, I'll probably just finish up after this practice thing because I'm starting to sweat. With our lovely, let me double check this. 15 degrees if Sarah's still there. I'm sweating with our 15 degrees.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. What's it? I can't think of his name now.
Art?
No.
King Crisp?
Chris popped in and said one word about rain. It was like, "Love, it's lovely." Like, what are you that about? Then he just
Yeah, I love ads. He just shows up at the right time just to give an extra bit of thing, then just leaves. We call him the anecdotal king. I don't know, I was just trying to think of a word really quickly to say.
And Sarah went quiet as well. I'm assuming Sarah's gone as well.
Yeah, she's probably being assaulted by more E-boys. I love you, Queen. Please step on my nuts.
I like how you were like, should I bottle? Should I bottle away from that? Nah, commit to that shit, dude.
Sorry, I just got fucking shot several fucking times, and now I'm heavy bleeding for some reason.
Could be the fact that you just got shot.
Ha! My name is Alan. I'm so funny. Sorry.
Not funny. Logical.
Sure, we'll call it that. Oh my fucking god, restream.
Right, I badly need to pee. I'll be back in a second.
You go pee. Now the restream's fucked. Don't leave when your goods are loading. Right, and with that, I am actually going to finish up. Cheers for all the people that popped in and said hello. May have not got any followers, but it was very enjoyable of a stream for me. I did get some success in this game, but you know what? Win some, you lose some. I did kill a few players as well. It just so happens I'm just always fucking outnumbered. And with restream broken, I'm probably just going to have to open both of them now. Cool. There we go. 2 here. 1 here. So 3. Yeah, grand. Right, I'm going to clock out.